Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. I am waiting for my partner in crime to show up, but as soon as she gets here, we can get this show on the road. And there she is, wearing bonnet and everything.
I just woke up. I overslept so bad. I literally just woke up like 5 minutes ago.
Well, we'll talk about that in a minute, but let's get this intro going. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Coffee Klatsch. I am your decrepit diva, Danny.
And
And
I
this
am your fading Fae Artemis.
and we are here to keep you company as you go about your chores for the day, do your data entry, clean your bathroom, wait for the plumber who didn't show up when he said he was going to,
Did
all
the
of those
plumber not
things.
show up?
All of the things.
Oh
And
no.
since I started that, let me just go right in. Oh, Ronald, you are so sweet. Looking like perfection. You are so sweet. Let's start with the life update because I want to get this in right away. Just in case if I have to mute myself and you see me dash off screen, it's because I have to attend to the plumber who has yet to show up. We
Was he
are
supposed to show up like before the stream started?
Yes, he was supposed to show up between 8 and 10, and now your father is sitting downstairs. Thankfully, your father is going to at least, um, wait for him, but then he might have to leave before the plumber is done because we don't know if the plumber is just coming. I think he's just coming to look because he hasn't been out here before, and I don't think he's gonna have all the things he needs before he comes out and looks at the situation. So I think he's gonna look and make an appointment to come back another day.
Mm.
But on the off chance that he just has 3 toilets piled up in his van ready to install, um, I might have to leave because your father will probably start the process and then go to work.
Mm-hmm.
And then I will have to talk to the plumber at some point.
Well, I will be
But
here to
to vamp
stall.
or do whatever. But before I go further into the life update, what you drinking this morning?
Oh no, I forgot to grab my drink. Nothing.
Oh
I'll be
no.
back.
Well, okay. Well, while she's grabbing her drink, I am having instant coffee. Well, actually, I'm having the mushroom coffee that my other daughter bought me for Christmas. I've been drinking it the whole time since our last video. I've been drinking it every day, and it's fine. I mean, it tastes a smidge better than instant coffee. It tastes closer to brew coffee than instant coffee, but I don't know. I have to admit, I've been cheating the last 2 days and dropping a little bit of instant coffee in with the mushroom coffee. Um, I'm doing the brand that I am drinking is called Everyday Dose, which makes it sound like CBD or something, but um I have not noticed it makes all these wild claims about increasing your energy and sharpening your focus and all that other stuff. I have not noticed any difference between this and my coffee as far as energy or focus. If anything, I feel a little less energetic, and the focus thing, I don't know if I can attribute that to the coffee or the fact because I was already starting to feel a little bit focused before the coffee, before the mushroom coffee, because it's the beginning of the year and this is the time of year when I feel like a lot of people they make their, intentions or their resolutions or something like that. For me, this time of year, which really it starts for me in September, but it carries on to this time of year, feeling like I need to clean some stuff out, and it has hit me really strongly this year, I think, in combination with my health Not necessarily declining, but just I'm being more aware of my body and aware of, okay, this is what I can do, this is what I can't do. So at the very least, let me try to make things easier for myself. This happened when I first got my diagnosis, and then I just kind of fell into ugh, there's nothing I can do. But now I'm back on the train of, okay, at the very least, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And so far, it seems to be helping. So I was already on that train, so I don't think the coffee's doing anything. But in addition to that, I have been awake. Well, tell me what you're drinking, and then we'll go on to my saga.
I am. Okay, give me just a sec. I'm lighting the tea light candle for my little tchotchke. I have water
Mhm.
and leftover vitamin water from
Mm.
yesterday.
Oh yeah, I got my two waters because like a lot of people, I realize I'm not alone in this. Like a lot of people, you start a bottle somewhere and
And
then
forget that it's there.
you move to a different room and you start a different bottle. And so I got a bottle here and a bottle here. So this is water, by the way. It's just got the flavor stuff in it.
Good, because it looks. Actually, it's too early for that. Let's continue.
What, it looks like wine, looks like a cheeky bevy,
It
looks
looks
like,
like somebody who is dehydrated had to go potty.
oh yeah, that too. Yeah, because I'm drinking because I bought one that is supposed to be tea flavored, but really it just tastes like straight up sugar. So I'm trying to use that one up because I
Mm-hmm.
paid for it. So I'm trying to use that one up, but it tastes like straight up sugar. But in addition to that, I have my Activia because
Activia.
I bought these Ollie gummies, these Ollie probiotic and prebiotic
Oh, I've
gummies.
had the Ollie gummies before.
So I have the one gummy in the morning. I've been doing that for the past 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. So I have one gummy every morning as soon as I get up. And I
Mm-hmm.
bought the Activia yogurt. So I'm having one gummy and one yogurt
I keep meaning to get
to
Wayne the Ollie
cover
gummies because he got tummy troubles.
my probiotic thing to see how that works. And so far I think it's helping.
Yeah.
I think my tummy doesn't feel, not to go into too much TMI, but I think my tummy doesn't feel as bad as it was. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I need to work in, because another thing that I know helps is if I eat something fermented,
Mm-hmm.
like a cabbage or a kimchi
You need to
or something
remind
like
me
that.
to bring you
Not
some.
cabbage, sauerkraut. I mean, a
You
sauerkraut or
need.
a kimchi.
You need to remind me to bring you some Jun next time I come home. It's
What
Jun. It's a fermented honey drink. Like it's a not honey, but it's like a fermented honey tea drink or something.
I'm not a big
But
fan of
it's like
honey. Does it taste overly like honey?
no, 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 no. It's
Okay.
like an alternative to kombucha,
Mm.
and
Yeah, that's right. Kombucha is fermented. I like kombucha. That's the other thing
I'm
that
not
I
a huge fan of kombucha, but I like gin because a lot of the time it just tastes like soda with like a kick to it.
oh, okay.
And so remind me, I need to because the person who makes it lives like here. And
Oh,
so I
okay.
need to remember to maybe grab you a 6 pack of bottles and go and bring it to you.
That would be cool. That would be cool. So, as I was saying, life update. You and I talked about this briefly a little bit um, last week off air. Um,
Hmm.
but ooh, the lighting is so much better in here. Why do I not knit in my office?
You've said this so many times.
Because the thing, I know why I don't knit in my office because I hate sitting in this chair longer than I have to. But I swear the lighting in the middle of the day is wonderful in here, better than in my bedroom.
Ridiculous.
But which is where I spend most of my time. But if I could get a good chair in here, because the lighting in here is good. But that reminds me of another thing which I'll have to bring up. But anyway, um, what was I gonna say? Oh, so we had an issue. Gin. No gin for me. No gin for
No,
me, Ronald.
Jen. I I have this issue all the time because Gilbert it gets so irritating. He has had gin and likes it, but he just
Gilly from
hates
the
the
Hilly.
way. Yeah, he just hates the way that I say it because I've heard it from like the owner pronounce Jun, but
Mhm.
like Jun the way that I say it. But he is like, why don't you just say Jun? Like, why are you not? What it's so? Why are you
Just
putting?
like some people get annoyed when, you know, obviously non-Latina people all of a sudden when they say a Spanish word, they start rolling those R's and stuff, and it's
Quesadilla.
like exactly.
It does
But
sound like the French gin. It does. But I think he thinks that I'm doing like a like when people call LaCroix La Croix. Or like, oh, do you want to go to the cafe? I hear they have really good lattes and croissants.
croissants, or even more annoying when people call Target Target.
I do that sometimes.
That annoys
But
me.
I also don't go to Target. Target's not my tax bracket, so
That annoys me. But so we had some problems. This is an ongoing plumbing problem, but we've been able to kind of ignore it for a little while. Not to go into too many details, we were able to ignore it for a while, but then it came to a head about a week or so ago when I tried to bathe and water started leaking through the floor and into our dining room.
disaster.
So my husband called the home insurance people out. I think this is a part right now we are going through a season where we are start finally starting to feel like adults and do adult things. Mind you, I'm 57 years old, but not those adult things. You know, we've been doing those adult things. You're
No,
here.
I'm
But
making stop. We can stop this conversation right now. I'm making this face like I have to wait until I'm 50 before I feel like an adult.
well, there's parts of me that don't feel like an adult, but it's like things like having to call people to come out and do things. It just that feels like I need to call my mommy to do that. That's something that the adult in the house needs to do, but I'm the adult in the house. Yes, I saw you pull that crochet hook out of your hair.
What's funny is I put it in my hair yesterday before I put on
Oh
my
god.
bonnet
And
and
you went to
forgot that it
sleep
was
with it.
there.
But you're so ridiculous.
I was hoping nobody would say anything, but thanks for calling me out, mother.
Of course I'm going to call you out. But yeah, so we pay for this homeowners insurance and stuff because that's what you're supposed to do as a grown up, but we don't ever call um people to actually use the insurance. But so we called. I see you, Ronald. We're going to answer that in a minute when we get to the yarny thoughts.
Ooh, we should talk
Um
about that.
mhm. Not that I have a lot to say, but I'm just going to acknowledge it when we get to the yarny thoughts. But yeah, so we've got the people coming out. I've been doing some little bits. My current thing. I used to have this chore box. I don't know if you remember the chore box. I used to have this chore box with the little cards, and every day I would have a thing that I had to do from the chore. And I try on and off. I tried on and off for 15 years to make that box work for me. And I still have those boxes, and I'm about to throw them away, honestly, when I clean off my bedside table. Because right now, I feel like what I'm going to do is just, and it looks like we lost Artemis, but I'm
I'm
going to keep
here. I'm
talking.
plugging my laptop up, and
Um,
I
that's what I figured, so I'm going to keep talking.
feel like
Um,
you guys didn't need to see just a lovely shot of my chest because, yeah.
but the so we have people coming out. We're going to be in a state of flux for a little while because we have people coming out to do the toilets. Since your father figured since we had the one toilet in the bathroom where we had all the leaking and everything is the main problem, but
Mm.
that has caused a whole problem. But figured decide
Figured
while
since he's coming out, he might as well look at all of them.
since the guy's coming out, because we also have a little issue with our leakage in our shower, which we haven't tended to and just kind of been avoiding and using the tub instead because our shower is separate from our tub. Um, and another problem with another toilet. So we're going to get all three toilets replaced. And because of the leakage, the other insurance said, well, our policy is with an open plan like what you have. Our policy is to just replace the entire ceiling. So
Oh,
they're going to redo the whole ceiling because the bad part is in the dining room,
yeah, but it's in like
but
so
they're gonna, because it's an open floor plan without, a lot of walls, their
uh-huh.
policy is to replace the
The entire
entire
downstairs ceiling.
that entire downstairs ceiling.
So what does that mean for you guys living upstairs?
So, well, I mean, it's not like we're gonna fall through the floor. The floor and the ceiling are two different things,
But they're
but
connected, otherwise there wouldn't be any leaking.
but
So y'all gonna
yeah,
have
we're
beams
gonna
and
have
bars just
construction
showing
is
in your
what we're
ceiling.
gonna have.
Ooh,
Okay, and Chloe is, oh good God.
no.
Okay.
What's going on? Do you need to put it in private chat?
No. Um,
Is my sister okay?
no, your sister wants me to open my birthday presents on screen.
Oh, that's
So
absolutely fine. Do that. We'll do that.
so I have to go get my boxes. And also your Aunt Terry wants to come get me tomorrow. Tomorrow's a Thursday. What?
Surprise girls trip.
Okay. Oh Lord.
You go get your boxes. I'll vamp and talk about what Chloe got me for Christmas.
Okay, you do that. I'm just gonna mute, but I'm gonna leave the camera up.
Sure. So while she's going to do that, I have been very much enjoying the gift that Chloe got me for Christmas, which was not. It was sort of a surprise, but everybody knows we've discussed this before. Whenever we do Christmas, we make Amazon lists and people pick things for us for our Amazon list. But I didn't think anybody was going to pick this for me, and she did, and I'm so excited. Oh, I wonder if I can pick it out because it involves a candle, which is why I'm trying to be very delicate. But it's this cute little tchotchke here. Let me turn my light away because it is blinding. Honestly, I don't need that light in my face. I think this is good enough lighting for the stream today. But it's this cute little tchotchke. And if I hold it up, these are the characters from Moomin, the Moomin TV show, which has been sitting in the list of shows to talk about for weeks, but we just have not gotten there yet. But the top of it has, if I can delicately pick this up, oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Oh, that was a terrible idea. I didn't think it would get that hot. Oh, the whole thing got so hot. It's terrible idea. Maya, when metal gets heated, it gets hot. So lesson learned. It's too early in the morning. And one of the pieces fell off. But it's cooling down very quickly, so I don't have to worry too much. But it's got a little blade that the characters hang on. And when the heat from the candle hits the blade, it spins it around. And so I've been lighting up tea light candles every time I come to sit at my desk because I just like a cute little thing in motion on my desk. And I am learning all tea light candles are not equal because some of them, like the candle that came with it, when I first lit it up, it spun like pretty quickly. You guys saw how quickly it was spinning just now. It's not super fast. It's just like a nice, and it's gonna wobble, but it's a nice, easy little spin. It's not like too terribly fast. It's just a little spinny do. The candle that came with it, I lit it up and it spun a lot faster. And now these candles, I bought some candles from just like the dollar store. I bought just a pack of candles, and one of the candles, first of all, was like offset. As someone who makes candles, who has made candles before, that is irritating. But the little wick in the candle was offset. It was not in the center, which is not very hard to do. But I guess if you're mass producing candles, then yeah. Um, but that made it hard for me to place the candle in the little tray where it's supposed to be so that it would spin. So there were a couple times where I would look over and the candle was burning, but the spinner has stopped. And so I had to like readjust it, and I eventually just like blew out and threw let that candle cool and threw it away. Because I tried to adjust it also, and then the wick just like popped right out. So I was like, ah. And so then I lit another candle, and I was like, okay, this is working fine. And then I blew it out yesterday, went to light it today, and it lit for like 2 seconds, and then just like went out. And I was like, okay, so these are cheapy candles. I mean, I got a pack of 50 candles for like $3. So it's not like it wasn't a huge deal, but I was like, man, I was hoping to get 50 uses of my cute little tchotchke out of these candles. Looks like I'm barely getting 48 at this point. But yeah, that is my tchotchke. That is what Chloe got me for Christmas. Mother, put down your yogurt and open your packages. You're still muted, so don't say any words until you click the button.
I'm feeling a little yucky.
Mm,
So can you vamp just a couple more minutes while I finish this yogurt?
sure.
Thank you.
Um, I'm trying to think of what else I can vamp about.
And the
Um,
and the the plumber just got here.
is that why you're feeling yucky? Are you stressed about the plumber being at the house?
No, I'm feeling yucky because I got up at 7:30 this morning, which is way early for me, and had to immediately hop out of bed, put clothes on because we thought
The plumber was
between
going to be there.
the plumber said between 8 and 10, yeah. So we thought he was gonna, just in
Okay.
case he showed up bright and early, I thought, well, let me get up and have my clothes on and everything.
Well, I will
And
vamp for a minute while you eat your yogurt. Since I
thank
was
you.
already talking about Moomin, I will skip down to the bottom of the list. Um, into things that we've been watching. We're not officially changing the segment, but I'm going to skip ahead and talk about something because I want to talk about Moomin because it's very cute. I watched the reason that I got into Moomin was I happened to, when you're watching stuff on YouTube and YouTube is like, here, watch this video, and you're like busy doing something, so you can't really change the video. So I ended up watching a essentially a documentary on, I think her name is like Jansen something. It's something Swedish, I think, or Finnish. I always, anytime something is Swedish or Finnish, I confuse the two. But she is a artist from that area who originally drew Moomin as just like a comic character. She made like several comic strips, and those strips got compiled into books. And then the books, people were like just enamored with them, and so they turned them into multiple. There were like 3 TV shows and a screenplay, and one or two of the TV shows were made by Japanese studios. And so like one of the most popular ones that was made by a Japanese studio, the entire thing is available on YouTube. And so I've been watching through it. I stopped for a little while because you know that feeling when you're like watching a show, but it's like an older show. So you're like, oh no, this is all of it. So if I finish it, there's no more. And so you just kind of stop. That's what I did. I am going to go back to watching it sometime later. It's a good like put on when you want just the kind of noise like show. So I was watching it. I watched it for a while when I was like really, really sick and couldn't get up. And then I watched it like while I was crocheting and stuff. It's just a good, like very easygoing show. It's interesting to see the Swedish like storytelling style and concepts, but in a like old 90s style anime interpretation, if that makes sense. Because like the art style, even though the characters don't look like anime characters, the art style is very much that early 90s anime art style, which is interesting. And then like the music, like there's there's some songs that are very like, this is Moomin, this is meant for this, but then the like the background noises of like if somebody hits something, or like people are just like walking and they need background music, it's very 90s anime reminiscent, which is very interesting to see. And if you watch, I will try to remember to put the I'm actually, mother, keep it. If you see a bunch of like people watching our streams, maybe ignore that, because I feel like I'm going to go back and watch the streams and put in all of the links that we have forgotten to put into things. Um,
Okay.
but I'll try to put in the link to the documentary that I watched, because I feel like if I had watched Moomin before I watched the documentary, it would have been like interesting, but like
Mhm.
not as interesting. But watching it now after having watched the documentary, it's very interesting, because the that documentary went over her entire life, because she passed away. I want to say early 2000s. So the documentary went over her entire life, and how and things that she said in interviews about the comic, and like how a lot of the characters are based on people in her like real life. And so seeing some of those characters pop up, and it talked about how like as she was going through things, her comic kind of changed, and just different stuff like that. So after having watched that, now watching the show, it is very interesting.
Mhm.
It's still just a cute little show. It'll always be just a cute little show, but it is very interesting.
Cool.
So
Cool.
now I can mark that off of the list.
Well, good for you.
Did you enjoy your yogi?
I did enjoy my yogurt. Hopefully that will hold me over, because like I said, I woke up at the crack of nothing. Well, for me, it was the crack of nothing, and I had a mini piece of naan and a a small cup of mandarin oranges, because that was all I could stomach at 7:30 in the morning.
Mm.
And then I worked for a little while and drank my coffee, and now I'm here with you. So Chloe wants me to open my gifts. I think this is the thing that she told me was not actually supposed to come to me. If she's on camera, please say something.
Chloe, if you in the chat.
If this is the one that's not for me, I'm not going to open it. So I'm going to put this up here. Okay. I think this might be for me. It says mom on it.
Ma'am. Chloe said yes in the chat.
Okay, good. So your brother, you already know this, so I'm yes, I'm telling the chat, but your brother came um up with the idea this year, because we do all of our shopping for Christmas. You know, everybody's in different places, so everybody's stuff gets shipped to them from Amazon or whatever. So he came up with the idea of putting some little code or something in your name on the shipping, so you can see from the outside of the package
Who
who
it's
it
for.
goes to. Because like two of my daughters live together, and
And their
so
names start with the same letter.
their names start with the same letter. So like in my case, I put my initials in the middle of their name. So it was like Chloe DMS Sanders. Then you know that package was from me, and that's your Christmas present. Because
hmm
also, not only so you know that that's your present from me, but also because they put those little gift tags in there, but those things, you open the package and those things go
Gone.
nobody sees those. I spend my time putting little notes on everybody's, and nobody sees those. Um, but also, in this day and age, not only are we sending packages, but then they're ordering stuff for themselves from
hmm
Amazon. So then you don't know, okay, is this the, paper towels I ordered, or is this my Christmas present?
Yeah.
You don't know. So we started doing that. I just threw that in there just in case anybody else wants to use that technique for birthdays or whatever, because she just did the same thing.
hmm
She put Chloe Sanders and then put mom at the end of it, for so we would know that's my gift, and not just because like in December we are more careful about opening stuff, and we kind of just leave packages there until Christmas, even if we've ordered stuff for ourselves. It's like, well, if we ordered for ourselves, it can wait till
I
Christmas.
don't think I ordered anything for myself all December because I didn't want to
Yeah,
mix anything up.
I try not to order stuff for myself because I don't want it to get mixed up. But this works especially during the year, like if you're ordering something for somebody's birthday,
Hmm.
they're really not expecting a package from you then. So,
Actually, speaking of birthdays, isn't it your birthdays?
excuse me.
Isn't it your birthdays right now? Am I
Yes,
missing something?
today is my birthday.
Happy birthdays. Bon anniversaire. Feliz
Merci.
cumpleaños. I remembered it. It's not late B day. It's today is her birthday.
No, no, today is my birthday.
Happy on time birthday.
Thank you, Ronald.
I fully forgot what the date was until just now.
Well, I was trying not to make a big deal out of it.
If we stream
Although,
on my
although my
birthday,
although my phone keeps blowing up today.
if we stream on my birthday, I'm gonna show up in a full ball gown, wearing a tiara, face fully made up, big pink wig that you don't know where I got it from, birthday cake sitting on the table. You'd be like, "What are you drinking today?" Well, I'm not really drinking anything, but I am eating this cake. You will know.
Okay. For some reason, my phone is blowing up.
Because it's your birthday.
My phone doesn't usually blow up on my birthday though. So this year is just weird. People are people are perceiving me, as you would say.
Perceiving. Finish opening your box.
Well, your Aunt Terry keeps blowing my phone up. She's trying to come get
Tell
me
her to watch
tomorrow.
the live stream.
No, I don't want her to know that I'm on video.
Tell her to watch the live stream.
I don't want her to know that I'm on video.
Why? Do I need to tell her?
No.
Are you ashamed to be on television with me?
Why would I be ashamed?
Then tell her.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna send her the link. How about that? And just not say anything.
Good.
Let
Except
me.
you know she's not going to click that. She's not a technology person.
Oh, she is sometimes.
Is she a not technology person in that she knows to be wary of internet clicky things, or is she a not technology person in that she will click every link that anybody sends to her?
Oh no, she just ignores all technology because she doesn't want to be
Okay.
bothered. She just does not want to be bothered. And I hear the plumber kind of halfway out of my ear, and I think that he's just consulting. I don't think he's gonna do anything today,
Okay.
but I don't know that for sure.
Send your messages and open your thing. Otherwise, I will have to continue ramping.
Okay, can I?
Let's see what else is in my list of things to vamp. Speaking of
Okay,
Amazon packages, I ordered new things.
okay.
Hmm?
Oh, good thing I did not, because I was just about to order some of these.
Ooh, order some of what? Dual tip marker pens. Oh, hoo markers. Ooh, I love some of hoo
Let
markers.
me let me get this multi tool, this scary multi tool that I've got sitting in my pin box.
Multi tools are not scary. I
Well,
need you to stop being a baby.
considering my whole box is just here we go. My little basket of pins and work things. Why would I have a multi tool in there?
Because sometimes you need a tool. We are women in STEM.
This women in STEM. The closest I get to STEM is that I do medical billing for a living.
Love a woman in STEM.
Okay. I have to admit though, it is the way of the blade.
Way to blade.
It cuts very nicely. Okay. I sent her the link. My phone is that her saying that's gonna be her going, what the hell is this? Well, there's four more people, so
Ooh, four more people.
I mean, one
Can
more
we
person. I'm sorry, not four more people.
can we get a sound off in the chat of everybody lurking and watching? Ari, are you secretly there? Chloe, is Bucket watching? Can we get a sound off in the chat? You don't have to sound off, but like if you want to sound off, I'll call you out. I'll say your name. I might give you a nickname like Ronald, our international man of mystery. Speaking of which, Ronald, are you guys gonna live stream again on YouTube next Sunday? We were seriously all sitting, hanging out, and like refreshing the page over and over to see if you guys sorted out the technology issues because we were sitting there waiting to watch. We had the whole family game night sitting there waiting to watch.
Oh, so cute.
Oh, and yours came with a nice case.
So cute.
When I ordered my Ohuhu markers, they came with like a cloth case, like a canvas bag case. And they would like roll all over the place and everything. So
Yeah, I've seen several different like configurations. I've seen like a little cardboard box with the top on
mhm.
it, and it's got flowers on it, so it looks all pretty and stuff. But this, I like this. This is perfectly
Ooh,
utilitarian.
before you go sitting those down, because they're dual tip markers, lay them
Hmm.
on their side. Otherwise, the ink pools to one of the marker tips. You're supposed
Okay.
to lay them on their side. Yeah.
Yeah, and I honestly I knew that because I have my other markers and I have them in a box that I keep them laying to the side because that's what the other markers said. But for some reason,
Okay, well then we'll keep an eye out on Sunday, Ronald. Yeah, I caught little snippets of what you guys were saying, and it just sounded like it was stressful. We were bummed. We were like, oh, I hope they figure it out. That's why we went and by we I mean she went and
it's
commented
got
in the
the it's
Discord.
got the little
Ooh, color
swatchy
chart.
thing, little color chart,
Love that.
and then it's got the little
I lost my swatch chart
it's got the
so long
thing so
ago.
that I can swatch on it.
Ooh.
There's a which you don't it doesn't feel like you should spend money for this, but this is something that I want to spend money for just because it's convenient, but I can't find it. A lot of the adult coloring people I see on YouTube have a book with swatch pages in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want one of those
Just
rather than print out a bunch of swatch pages.
you can just make that. Just get a little like multi why can I told you the word the other day and now I can't think of the word. Multimedia. Thank you. Just get a little multimedia
Okay.
sketchbook
Is this for
and you
me
just do a
too?
little
Is
swatch
this
and you
for
write
me
it.
too, Chloe?
Chloe, is that also for my mama?
But I have
Yes,
the
yes.
feeling that it is cheap. So, because just looking at the way they did it, and if I spend
Mm-hmm.
$5 on a multimedia sketchbook, I might as well spend $5 on the swatch book
The swatch book.
that has the little
Oh, it's got the
squares
little squares
and
in it.
it's got the little squares and it's got on the top so you can write like what palette this is for or which
Okay.
markers and then you can put the
I
numbers
mean,
next to it.
I'm not gonna hate on you if you buy it. I am the kind of person that continually buys calendars and planners and
Okay.
journals
This says
because I
it
think
says
that they will
pull
improve
to
my life.
open. Okay, well if this is not for me, Chloe,
She says she thinks
then
it's for you, so go ahead and open it.
I am sorry for opening your business
Do it. We love
on
an unboxing.
screen.
Maybe we'll get more
But
viewers because we're doing an unboxing. Maybe if I say unboxing 100 times, then YouTube will. Speaking of, while you're opening that, have you noticed that on YouTube, it's on the phone app. I don't know if they do it on the computer, but on YouTube, if you're on the phone app and you're not full screen and you have like, it'll be the video at the top and then the description, all that stuff down at the bottom. When people say the word subscribe in their video, the little subscribe button lights up with a rainbow light around it. Like when people in their videos, they're like and subscribe, the little subscribe button will light up with a little rainbow around it.
I
And then
have
when people,
not seen that.
it go to a video where you know someone does their little call out at the end and watch for it because the subscribe button will light up. And then I think when they say like, the little like button also lights up with a little rainbow around it. The very first time I saw it, I was like, I thought that it was just a feature of like, oh, when you minimize the video, then the subscribe button lights up to remind you to subscribe. But then I kept watching and they said it a couple more times. It lights up. Ronald said yes, and the like button also. Yeah, it lights up whenever
Oh,
people
that
say like
is
and subscribe. It's
cool.
crazy.
Okay, this thing said that I could rip it, but it did not account for my old lady hands. See, this is the kind of thing where I don't feel like my hands are weak. My hands don't shake. I don't feel like I have weak hands. But then when I go to open a potato chip bag, I can't open the bag. Or
Is
I
it you
go
need
to
that grip strength? You
or I
practicing your
goo
grip strength?
you, it doesn't feel like you would need grip strength to open a potato chip bag, but I can't open the potato chip bag. Sometimes I have trouble with pulling open the Ziploc bags, and I can't pull open this box. This box has a thing where it just says pull this open, and I'm trying to pull it open, and it's
That looks like they thought that that was going to work, but you know when you get like food from the grocery store and it says like rip here to open, but the rip tab, like there was a manufacturing error and so the rip tab is not in the correct place. That's what that
okay.
looks like to me. Like they thought it was going to work but it's not. What is it? What are we gasping at?
My children love me.
We do.
My
What
children
is that?
love me. And it's in hardcover. My children buy me hardcover books. I don't know what to say. You could have got this in paperback.
So I, like you people, don't know what this is. 100, the 100?
Yes.
A guide of can you read the lower third fine
The
print, please?
100, A Guide to the Pieces Every Stylish Woman Must Own by Nina Garcia.
Oh, that clothing book you
That
wanted.
book that I was talking about. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the front leaf. Oh my God.
Ooh, I love that.
Isn't that
Oh, it looks
gorgeous?
so nice.
Another book I almost bought for myself because it's been on my list for a minute.
Yeah, I think you talked about that book briefly. We
Yeah,
talked
I
about that book
did.
either on stream
We
or
did
on
talk
Family
about it
Game
on
Night.
stream.
We did? Okay.
No, we talked about it on stream.
Cute.
Number 18, cashmere sweater. Like I'm ever gonna own a cashmere sweater. But
I mean, you can save
I've
up
been yeah, I've been wanting this book as my guideline for now belts. I definitely need to get some belts in my life.
or you could make some like I did. Crochet them.
But and I have some belts in my Ravelry favorites.
Mhm.
But ooh, bangles is number 6.
I
Definitely
cannot.
want bangles. Oh, I want to be a bangle lady, but I have never been, but I want to be.
I decided I'm a ring guy. I can only wear one accessory at a time.
But oh, and this is so, and it's hardcover.
So
So
nice. It looks so
nice,
nice on
so
your shelf.
nice, so nice. Yes, I need to clean off my
Clear your bookshelf and have only that book sitting by itself with a little light
well
on it.
no, not only this book, I've got this book, I've got The Party that I got for Christmas.
Mm.
I got That Noodle Life that I got for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Julia Child's life story, which I haven't yet to read because it's behind all my junk on my shelf, so I can't get to it. So
So you need to clean it so you can get access.
yes, but thank you very much, Chloe, for these birthday gifts. I appreciate them ever so much. Thank you so much, especially after Christmas. So generous. So, do we have any more life stuff, or do we want to go into
I don't think so. Did y'all
crafting?
survive the flood that was just happening yesterday?
Uh, yes, oh God, it rained. Here in our part of the country, people, it rained from before dawn. It started raining. And then it was raining so hard that when it was dawn, I thought it wasn't dawn yet because it was still dark outside. sunrise is supposed to be at 7:30 here according to my app, and it was
Mhm.
still dark, so I turned back over because I thought, "Oh, this is the middle of the night. Let me turn back over." But no, it was not the middle of the night.
Yeah, we got so I go to work and then in the middle of my shift I leave to take my husband and my roommate to work. And while we were at work, one of my coworkers, their mom told them, I almost said mom, where am I? International woman of mystery. Um they their mom told them that the interstate was flooded, and my boss said that she had seen like a couple, like it was backed up on the road because there were a couple accidents and stuff. So I was like, I really don't want to have to drive on the interstate, and so I called them. My roommate was able to get the day off of work because of all the flooding and everything, but Wayne still had to go to work because he is basically the night manager. So they didn't have anybody to cover for him, and so I got off work, went to come pick him up. As soon as I pulled into our driveway, I got the alert on my phone. You know, the ones that like everybody gets and your phone goes off. I got the alert on my
Uh-huh.
phone that was like flash flood warning until
Uh-huh.
5 p.m. Do not travel unless you are evacuated, unless you have an
Uh-huh.
evacuation order or you're fleeing. And I'm like, I have
I got
neither
the
of
same
those, but I
thing.
got bills to pay. So so he hopped in the car and we drove, but the way that we normally drive, because we normally drive on the parkway, the way that we normally drive, the parkway was closed. So we had to back out. So I now know, this is the thing that I had been wanting to learn this entire time, was how to drive him to work not on the parkway. I needed to learn a secondary way to get him to work. Guess who knows that now? Because she had to travel that way yesterday because everything was friggin' closed.
Oh Lord. Yeah, your father, when he came home yesterday evening, he was saying there's a certain part up in the neighborhood at toward the front of the neighborhood that when we get heavy rain like that, it turns into a lake and
Mm,
where you just can't even see the road. And he said, yeah, it was lakeish up there.
yeah.
So,
I have never been so happy to be in a second story apartment because, out of the like 5 apartments or whatever that we've lived in, two
mhm,
of them have flooded.
mhm.
So guess who's happy to be up on the upstairs? Guess who doesn't mind climbing upstairs to get to her apartment now?
To be away from all that water.
Yes.
Oh, I feel like this is going to be a ginger ale day.
Mm,
Okay. Um, oh, and one other thing before we move on, my latest annoyance,
mm,
which is silly, it's silly old lady thing, but my shirts, including this shirt that I have on now, although right now it's not bothering me because I had to like cut extra in the back. For some reason, shirts I've had for years. This shirt I have had for
I was
literally
literally
years.
about to make a comment about, because I saw that shirt and I was like, I feel like you've had that shirt since I was 10 years old.
This shirt was from the old church that we used to go to, and
Yes.
they had a thing one year where they where the whole congregation bought matching t-shirts for
Hmm.
some kind of event or whatever.
So that
Okay.
could have been from
And
before I was
it's
10 years
not
old.
and like the shirt is honestly, I don't like the design on the front of the shirt that they chose. It's like a bald eagle and it's like Christ has set you free is what it says, but the bald eagle on it is
Hmm.
weird. So I'm not crazy about the design, but the shirt is the softest t-shirt I have ever owned, hands down. And so I not only have mine, I have your father's as well. So I've got two of these shirts because your father stopped wearing his years ago, and so I just confiscated it. So because they're very soft, very soft, and so I wear
Hmm.
them a lot and have no problems with them. But for some reason, over the last couple months, all of my shirts bother me at the back of my neck. And so I know it's me and not the shirts because I have had
Hmm.
these shirts for ages. If it was one of my
Yeah.
newer shirts, I would say, "Oh, there's something with the tag or whatever." But no, all of my shirts bother me at the back of the neck. And I'm not a person who like rips the tags out right away when I buy them, but like this shirt, I had to like cut not and my nightgown that I had on last night, I had to
Mhm.
cut not only the tag out, but like a little bit of the fabric. I mean, I had to cut it close so that there's
Ooh.
like no little seam like I had to shear down that seam a little bit so it would stop bothering me at the back of my
Mhm.
neck. I
Oh,
do
that's
not
weird.
understand what's going on with the back of my neck, but that's just, annoyance 385
Did
that
you
I've
guys like
developed
switch laundry
since
detergents or something?
nope.
Hmm.
And it's none of like it's because the rest of the shirt feels wonderful.
Mhm.
It's just that spot at the back of my neck. And so it's crazy. But that's just another annoyance I've developed since I've gotten old. That and my elbow is starting to hurt. My elbow just started hurting 2 days ago for no good reason.
Ooh.
But let's since I before I continue to whine like the old ladies who talk about all their health problems, let's move on to yarny crafty thoughts since we're both sitting here with needlework in our hand. Do we have any yarny crafty thoughts or
I
is
have
this
one finished project, and remember I showed the shawl that I was working on last week. I That is what I'm working on right now, so you can see the actual one that I'm working on and the colorway that I'm working on. But I have
okay?
one finished project.
Okay.
Let's fix my camera again. I made a dog leash. Your girl did
Oh,
some
cool.
macrame. Yeah, it's got
Let's embiggen you.
and big in me. So it's got the little clamp to hook onto the little ring on their collar. And then
Mhm.
I guess who decided that she just really wanted to do some macrame. Doesn't this look so legit
It
though?
looks good. Yes, it looks good.
And then I gave it a little spiral in the middle for decoration.
It looks good.
And then the handle.
Okay, have you experimented with these on your dog to see how strong they are or
I experimented with it on my less tuggy dog. Um,
mhm.
I want to get some bigger. Uh, I hesitate to call it rope, but it's also not really yarn.
Mhm. I know
Um,
what you're saying.
so I guess rope. Yeah, because I guess if it's bigger, then it would be rope. I want to get some bigger rope because you see, there's plenty of space on here that I could have used bigger rope, but this is all that they had at Aunt
Mhm.
Joanne's.
Mhm.
So because this is it feels very sturdy, and Wayne also tested it
Mhm.
with the dog, and he's like, yeah, it feels really sturdy, it doesn't feel like it's going anywhere. But I just in my head, even though I spent hours weaving these knots and know that they're not going to go anywhere, feel
Mhm.
like it needs to be bigger to withstand my dog.
Uh-huh.
If that
Mhm.
makes sense, because it
Yeah.
probably would hold her, because the less tuggy dog is a
Mhm.
boy, so it
Mhm.
holds him just fine. It would probably hold
Mhm.
River, but in my head it needs to be bigger, if that makes sense.
Well, I mean, note that if you put that on the table, just note that you have tested that with your. I don't know if the less tuggy dog is smaller, but say, I've tested it with a, 20-pound dog or whatever, and
Yeah,
it seems to be fine.
that's a good call. I could put it on the yeah, I could put a tag on it and say
Hmm.
tested with a 20-pound dog, or tested with a he is honestly like 50 pounds, but
Well,
because he's not really that much.
I don't know what. I mean, I can look at people and maybe give an estimate of how much they weigh, but I
How
can't
much do
look
you
at
think?
dogs.
What is this? Oh my goodness, I'm being gifted something from the secret door. Wayne, how much do you think Wallace
From the
weighs?
secret door.
About 30,
Oh,
40.
40 pounds.
French toast sticks. Yummy.
I don't know if you
I
guys knew.
actually I actually have
I
French
ordered the
toast sticks.
continental breakfast.
I actually have French toast sticks in my freezer. We just got some yesterday. Maybe I'll have those later after I get off stream.
Oh wait, don't unbig me yet. Let me go ahead and show my So we showed somebody with a Burger King. No, he just ordered. He When we got Instacart, he ordered fresh toast sticks from the Instacart, and he from when he worked at his other job, just stole all of these ramekins. He would bring them home with
I
his
thought you
lunch.
didn't use Instacart.
We don't unless we can't make it out to the store. Like if I'm
Okay.
gonna be at work or something and they're at home.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he got them from Publix. Um, but
Yeah,
he
I got
also
mine at Walmart. He said you can get French toast sticks from other places than BK. Yeah, I get mine at Walmart.
yeah, these are freezer French toast sticks that he put in the microwave, air fryer. I don't know how he made them. We're about to find out. But he also, from his last job, every time he would bring food home, he would bring these little ramekins of sauce home to eat with his dinner. So we've got a bunch of these little ramekins. I have
Oh,
a cute little ramekin of syrup.
you give me a hard time about the cruise cups and the cruise napkins.
It looks so fancy though, because there also were these plates from work that like they're plastic plates, and so somebody had returned them because they had been like smashed, and so some of the plates
Uh-huh.
were like all chipped on the side, so we couldn't sell them because they were chipped. So I brought them home. So look at this. Don't I
I
have this
know
nice continental breakfast plate?
your whole meal looks fancy.
Hey Ari, Ari's been lurking this whole time. But before I dive into my French toast sticks before they get cold, this is the shawl that I've been working on. Look at this
Oh,
colorway.
that's the one that you showed the pattern for that has that architectural. I
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
yeah, you can see it like sits up, but I think it's meant to. I don't know how I like it. I've been continuing the pattern because I kind of like it. I especially like this little ruffle that it makes on the side
Mhm.
here.
It
But
looks
I don't.
nice with the colorway.
Yeah, and I think it looks nice with this colorway. I just got to the orange up top here, but I don't like. I don't know if it's meant to like lay down and you can kind of see a little peekaboo, or if it's meant to like sit up kind of
Well,
and
I
be a
think
little
it's just
meshy.
however you feel like wearing it, I think. Because once you wear it, it's gonna do whatever it wants to do. Once you're moving around and everything, it's gonna do whatever it wants to do anyway.
Oh, thank you, Ronald's husband.
That yeah, you did a great job on that. I like
Okay,
that.
thank you. I am nearly through this skein. I've got this is the little spinny thing that Isaac got me for Christmas one year. But so I'm nearly through the skein because this skein was like one of the big ones. So it was like out to here. It was like a big
So
skein.
that's the mandala
Mm,
bonus. The
yeah.
mandala bonus. Okay. Well, Ronald Hubby said he loves the texture. I like the texture too. I think that looks really cool.
Thank you, International Hubby of Mystery. I need a name for Ronald's husband. Instead of calling him Ronald's husband. It feels like when you go to your friend's house and you're like, thank you, Sarah's mom. So that's what I've been working. You can unbiggen me now because I'm about to.
Okay.
I also did some henna.
Lovely,
It's
lovely.
very faded because I did it several days ago.
So, what behind it? What is that? I think we were watching a video about the 9 month world cruise or something, and somebody on the world cruise got henna, and your father and I were both thinking about you. We both mentioned,
I
I
should
can't
start working
remember
on
what we
cruise
said.
ships.
Yeah, you should start working on cruise ships. Um, but Ronald asked if we had ever heard of those Woobles kits,
Mm,
and I have.
I
Um,
get commercials
the
for them
few,
all the time.
I don't. I've seen a few TikTokers try using them, a few YouTubers try using them, and seem to have a little bit of an issue.
Yeah, I haven't watched the
Um,
videos yet, any like reviews yet.
I mean, just from what little bit I've seen, I I mean, I know there are people who learn how to crochet from watching YouTube and stuff.
Hmm.
I learned from I learned how to do the basics of a chain and with knitting the basics of casting on from and the basic knit and purl stitch from my grandmother.
Hmm.
But everything else I learned was from books because I'm pre YouTube because I'm old. So everything else I learned was from books. Although I
Yeah.
have learned some other things recently. I'm not going to say I've never learned anything from YouTube because I have learned, things recently from YouTube. But the basis of my skill to get me to where I could learn stuff from YouTube was learned from books. Um, so I guess you could learn how to crochet because they're marketed. Those woobles are marketed as how to teach you how to crochet. And I think the people I've seen have struggled with the kits, and I feel like they need somebody,
Well,
in person with them
the other thing
to.
that I'm worried about is that we are creating more boys and girlies out there that only know how to crochet from video and don't know how to read a pattern, because
How to read it.
in the
Well,
yeah, in the commercials that I've
that's
seen,
been
it's
my
like,
thing for years.
yes, exactly. Every time someone comes to my table at the farmers market and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, I'm just now learning to crochet, but I like crochet from YouTube videos and stuff," and I'm like, "Do yourself a favor, find a video that puts the pattern up on the screen and learn what these symbols and things mean, because that will open up a world of things that you can make." I am such a strong advocate every time I'm at markets of learn how to read a pattern.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Mhm.
that's the other thing is the
Because
price,
yes.
because it's $30. You know, there's not $30 worth of yarn in there, because that's if that even if that's like t-shirt yarn or like whatever that yarn is, that to make the
Well, I mean,
amigurumi that's like
we've
this big,
looked at this. We've looked at those yarns, and they do charge a heck of a lot for those yarns.
they do, but
So,
for the amount of yarn just to make your wooble that's like this big, that can't be more than like $10 worth of yarn. Because how let me see. Oh, so it's like this big. Looking at these pictures, it's like this big. So that can't be more than $10 worth of yarn. A crochet hook, they got one with a handle. So that's
mhm.
another what, $10. The stuffing, that is not even a dollar's worth of stuffing. Um
And then they've got the eyes and the yarn. The
and the
eye,
safety eyes,
honestly,
yeah.
the yarn needles are, they give those away for free when you buy. Yarn
Yeah.
needles are negligible costs, because they give those kind of things, yarn needles and um stitch markers. When you buy stuff, they throw those in for free.
You're right, Ronald. You
So
are absolutely paying the convenience of having them all in one place and all the colors for you and everything. But I still feel like, I mean, it just depends if you really
you're
oh,
paying the
not the Hello
convenience.
Fresh of crochet. You
You're
were so
paying
right.
you're paying the convenience, but you're also paying the what am I looking for? The trendiness, because look at this
Yes.
website. It's very cute and trendy and TikTok-ish, and I was
Hmm.
trying to see what other kits they had. So it's
They're capitalizing on all the girlies wanting to learn how to
like
crochet.
it feels very it feels yeah, it feels very modern, as
Hmm.
opposed to, because they've been selling kits like this for how to make a, not maybe not to make amigurumis. I'll be fair. The amigurumi kits are new, but they've been selling learn to crochet kits at Michael's and, you know, Auntie Joanne's for ages,
Hmm.
that are less than $30 with all the stuff in it for less than $30.
I thought about making
So
some kits to sell at the farmers market myself,
that
because I could
might be a
get
good idea.
because if I get the cheapy crochet hook that's not in my hair, I'm about to lose it. Because these are what, like $3. If I can get some skeins of yarn that are on sale at Michael's, because I could make like some shawl kits. Because if I get myself a
Mhm.
mandala skein, crochet hook, yarn needle, I wouldn't need any stuffing because it's not amigurumi. Would I need anything else? Bring your own scissors, BYOS,
Mhm.
and then I could start it for him. Because a granny shawl, like the one that I have sitting behind me, where is it? The granny stitch shawl. If I were to get this and start this for somebody, and just because I think the beginning is really honestly the hardest part.
Mhm.
Oh no, I've got syrup on my nice
I
dress.
think that's the you got syrup on your dress?
Yes, I'm wearing that cotton dress that I
Oh.
got from my friend, the one that's got the like leaf pattern at the bottom.
Mhm.
What do I have?
But the That's the interesting thing. I think that's the other thing that makes that kit, that Woogles kit, stand out, is that they do have it started for you. So they have like the
Hmm.
first two rounds of it done, and then you pick up from there. Which
It feels like a
honestly, honestly, I don't know if that's a good idea or not, because
yeah.
my I've told this story before, but my nana used to come visit us from
That's
New
exactly
York,
what I was about to say.
and she cast on and she taught me how to do the stitches, but then I couldn't remember how to cast on and I didn't know how to cast off. So I would just like knit and then rip it
Undo
all
it all.
back and then knit again, just for the calming effect of having something to do with my hands when I was in the middle of class or in the middle of an awkward situation. But I wasn't really making anything because I didn't know how to continue from
Yeah.
there. And we already know my thing of no internet, no YouTube, could only go to the library once a month, 4 books maximum.
Chloe, I need you to create a little graphic that just says she's an old and it's got like fireworks over it. And every time she says something that reminds the people that she's an old person, can you just like
Yeah, whatever. But
Ronald, I wish I had
um
scissors in every room in my house. I'm just acknowledging that I read this comment. I wish I had scissors in every room in my house. I have two pairs of scissors that I hold on to for dear life because I used to have a lot of scissors and then everybody in my house kept using my scissors and then either losing or messing up my scissors and using them for who knows what boy shenanigans they are doing with my scissors,
mhm.
and then they're not sharp enough to cut my yarn and not sharp enough to cut
I've
my
had I've had to
you guys are crazy.
threaten them with mutilation for moving my kitchen scissors. My kitchen scissors need to stay in the kitchen because we've already discussed earlier about how I have trouble,
Can't open bags.
can't open bags. Oh, I was supposed to tell your brother when the plumber person left, but I don't know if the plumber person's left or not. I'm gonna have to stand up.
Back room. Ronald. For shame.
We're not even gonna read that out loud. Y'all are
Nope.
just gonna have to read that in the comments yourselves.
Three
But
pairs of scissors in the kitchen alone. That is outrageous. I have one pair of scissors that happens to sit in the kitchen because they stay in my henna bag. Because when I'm using my henna cones, if I open a fresh cone, I need to be able to snip the tip of the cone. Speaking of your previous comment, I need to be able to snip the tip of the cone. So those stay in my henna bag, which stays in the freezer so my henna doesn't go bad. And then I've got my project scissors that have yarn on them. I have my project scissors that stay in my project bag so that I can
mhm.
find them because I'm tired of being in the middle of a project and I've got to cut some yarn, can't find any scissors. I gotta go grab a knife or something like a caveman.
Well, I think the only reason the scissors that I use for my yarn don't disappear is because they are child safety scissors and nobody else can do anything with them, but they cut my yarn just fine.
Oh no, I got
Okay,
good scissors for my yarn.
I'm getting up, people.
Oh no. Are we
Okay,
leaving?
no, the plumber guy's still here. I keep
Oh,
hearing
checking on the plumber.
sounds. So I was checking to see if the plumber guy is still here. So he must be doing something because I see him getting a box out of his van.
I know you've set it up, so go ahead and activate the third camera that you have that is just in your bathroom so we can get the plumber cam. You want to go ahead and activate plumber cam?
Oh Lord, you're so ridiculous.
You say
Okay.
your high on Sunday is 0, Ronald? Where are you still East Coast right now, or are you traveling to mysterious parts of the four corners of the world? Where are you? 0. That is I don't like that. I've been
I thought-
afraid of
Your
snow
your
all week.
your brother is, because he's antisocial like I am, so he's hiding out at work. So I had to he's waiting for me to tell him that the plumber's left so he can come home. Why did I think I didn't think he lived in
Minnesota.
Minnesota. I thought you lived somewhere else, but not Minnesota.
Well, he's talked about living in, I want to say Florida or Georgia. And then there was mention of Canada at one point.
Yes.
Because there's a reason that I call him an international man of mystery.
Well, I know he's not in Canada anymore, but and I know he's not in Louisiana, but I thought I didn't think Minnesota, but enough speculating about Ronald. As far as my yarny, crafty things,
Mm.
um, I have not worked on the Afghans. Shame on me. Because I see reason I thought you were Canadian is because you speak French. So
Are
I
you not
thought,
allowed to talk about your time in Canada because the spies will come get you? Is that what's going on, Ronald?
I mean, I didn't think you were Canadian, but I thought you had spent time in Canada because you speak French. But then you were in Louisiana and people in Louisiana speak French
They
too.
do.
So maybe that's where the French came from. Okay. Whatever. Um what am I trying to say? Um
You did not work on the Afghan. Shame on you.
no, because I mum's the word. Because I forgot my wedding anniversary until the day of my wedding anniversary. And so I did not get my husband anything for our anniversary. Um, but also add to that, even before me forgetting the anniversary, I've had this ball of yarn sitting in. Ooh, it shows up nice on the camera. Had this ball of yarn sitting in. It's a single ball. It has no label on it. The way it is wound up, I know it's not a red heart or a Karen, and it's
It feels like it could be a Lion Brand something.
I don't know if you can see it on, yeah, it's like a Lion Brand kind of thing. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but the see how it's twisty?
It's plied. Is it flat or is it
It's no, it's not flat.
okay? But it's
It's not
plied. You can like
flat,
see the strands.
but there are let me see. There are two strands twisted together.
Before you continue your thought, Chloe said that she's at work, but you're welcome for the gift. And I know I could get a paperback, but I thought you would like a hard copy.
Oh, that was so sweet. Thank you, Chloe. Thank you so much, Chloe. And yes, I do appreciate a hardcover. I just know that they're more expensive, but thank you so much. Thank you. But so yeah, it's and it's a nice squishy yarn. Um I'm betting that there's no wool in it. I'm hoping that there's no wool in it because but the thing that stood out to me is that it is the same color as your father's uniforms. Cuz see he works in the there's a word for it. I want to say breezeway, but that's not it. But he works in an area at the gates where it's cold all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so he has his sweaters and stuff. And I had a couple years ago, I had made him a scarf, but I had made him a burgundy scarf. He could not
Mm,
wear that
it
because
didn't
it does not.
match.
Because I mean, it would look nice with his uniform, but there's no burgundy in his uniform.
Yeah.
His uniform is the dark navy blue. So this yarn matches perfectly with his uniform.
Take a lighter
So
and burn some of it and see, and you can at least determine if it's acrylic or if it's natural
yeah,
fiber.
I know that trick, but I've been lazy and I just was like, so anyway, I knew that in the back of my head, so I should probably do that before I go any further. But maybe I'll do it after I get off here. But so I want to make him a hat
Hmm.
because so that he because I've noticed him leaving the house with hats on, and I was like, well, this is my last chance. I'm gonna try one more time because I don't know if we've discussed this on here before, but some of my family members do not use things that I have made,
And some of
and
us
some of and
embrace them even though you hate them.
and some
I
of them do.
guess what I'm using as my lap blanket right now.
Oh God, not that ugly blanket.
I love this blanket so much.
That blanket is so ugly. It is so ugly. Hold it up so they can appreciate the full ugliness of that blanket.
I love this blanket so much. And I use it all the time.
I made that blanket in case we hadn't said this on stream before. I made that blanket um on the knitting machine that I ended up giving her because I don't use it anymore. But
I love this blanket so
I
much.
someone had given me a bunch of somehow I had managed to accumulate because I don't think I came from one person. I managed to accumulate a bunch of different yarns with various shades of pink in it, pink and mauve in
Yeah,
it.
I was
And I
saying,
do not
I'm trying to figure out what this color is because this is not pink.
yeah, that
I don't
that
have a
big
word for this color.
that one color is mauve,
Okay.
but there's also other shades of pink, and I don't use pink. Well, let me rephrase that. Back then, I hated pink with a passion. Now, I appreciate pink, and pink does look good on me, and I have at least 2 shirts that are pink, but back then, I hated pink because, like, ugh, girls wear pink. Ugh, why do girls have to wear pink? Ugh, that kind of thing. So pink was just not my thing, and somehow I managed to accumulate all this things with shades of pink. So I grabbed everything with shades of pink and made these strips and sewed them together into a blanket just to, use them up. And that was back at the beginning of my desire to make blankets for the house. And but I never got any further really than that one blanket. And it is so ugly.
I love it so much.
It is so ugly.
I use it all the time.
But yes, a couple of my children, two of my children appreciate handmade things. My other daughter and my son and my husband are really not into my handmade things. So I think my husband appreciates that I make them because back, when we used to attend the church regularly, he would ask me to make things. If somebody, he would say, "Oh, someone such and such at the church is having a baby. Can you make a gift for the shower or whatever?" So, I mean, I think he appreciates in that way that I can make a thing.
Mm.
But I don't think he wants to wear any of the things I've made, but I every once in a while, I just can't help myself. And so, but this is I'm telling myself this is the last time I'm making this hat and one other hat, and if he doesn't like them and doesn't wear them, I'm not doing it again.
You better at least make sure there's not wool in that yarn before you make him a hat.
Yeah, I'm gonna try after this. I'm gonna do
Okay.
the burn test, make sure it's not wool. But if it does turn out to be wool, I have some Karen Simply Soft in this shade as well, and
Okay.
I'll just switch to the Karen Simply Soft.
Well,
But
the
if it's
burn
not
test will only tell you if it's natural fiber or not. So it could be. Well, it's probably not cotton, honestly. If it's squishy
oh
and soft
yeah,
like
no,
that, it's
I
probably
already know it's not cotton because cotton would be hurting my hands by now.
not.
So because
Cotton is
cotton
not that rough.
No, not hurting my hands as in the material is rough, hurting my hands as in there's no stretch to it. So
Oh,
after
okay.
a while, I feel the muscles of my
Mm,
hands kinda sore because I'm tugging against something that doesn't have any stretch.
I got you.
Even though I try to tell myself to, and I already knit kinda loosely, but it still feels I do better crocheting cotton than knitting
Mm.
because I for some reason I tug on it somehow
Yeah,
and
I've
my
not
hands
tried to
hurt.
knit cotton, and now that you're mentioning it, I don't think I will anytime soon, honestly, because it does not have a stretch. And you don't have to worry about it so much with the crochet because you're only working with the one hook. But with
Mhm.
knitting, I also tend to like. I think the thing that irritates me about knitting is when I've got like some stitches on this needle, some stitches on this needle. I want there to be more space between the needles, and they're like this.
But so this is where I am. I'm doing a pattern from Pearl Soho. I'll pull it up in just a second. But I've not gotten very far. I've got this is about an inch and a half, I think, on the brim because it's starting from
Cute
the
though.
bottom. So it's it's like a real simple um, Pearl 5 knit 2.
Hmm.
So it's a real simple. situation. Um, but they call them their thank you hats. Um, so hopefully he'll like them. If not, then
There will be a hat for me to steal when I come over.
there'll be a hat you can steal, or maybe your brother will wear them, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just, I don't know. I don't know. But this is okay. The
Well, I like it.
one with the very on the one on the left with the very wide brim is called the big thank you hat,
Mm-hmm.
and then the one on the right is just the thank you hat. So I was going to do both of them, although I don't know about
Thank you.
this
Thank you so
little
much. Thank
fake
you. Because I was looking at that and I was trying not to be rude, but it looks so ugly.
that 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 thing reminds me of when girls who have super short hair try to do a ponytail and they have that little piece sticking in the back. But
Ooh, not you calling out the girls.
I I don't think my husband would want that thing on the top. So I'm
Yeah,
hoping when I get to that point in the pattern, I can get rid of that.
you can figure it out.
But right,
Yeah, we all know my hot take of I do not like pom pom hats, and that just looks like an even shittier version of a pom pom hat.
hmm but yeah, that's all I've worked, and I haven't even worked on it that much because I what have I done here? I haven't really worked on it that much because I've been doing other things. I've been trying, like I said earlier in the thing, my goal of trying to do a little chore every
Mm-hmm.
day. So, like, I got my office decluttered for the most part. There's still some decluttering to do, but I've decluttered it enough that it doesn't, I was at a point where it felt uncomfortable to come in here and
Mm-hmm.
work because I was feeling kind of claustrophobic. So I got rid of enough stuff that I feel good coming in here to work.
Mm-hmm.
Then I cleared off our laundry area and hallway, which is right outside this door. So that feels good. We got the we got the table downstairs cleared out and vamp for a sec.
Amazing. Oh, I was not prepared. Um, things for me to vamp about. Oh, it is my papa. Oh, farewell, papa. I hope he has fun at work. It is my papa. Oh my goodness, we have a guest appearance on the stream. The guest being my papa. I wonder how the potty work is going. What do I have to vamp about? Do I have anything in the list? Anything that I have not spoken about? No, not really. Um, I can talk about. I am stalling. Oh no, I was very taken aback. I was not prepared. The French toast sticks were good. If anybody lives near a Publix, they're French toast sticks. Pretty good because I think they were the Publix brand French toast sticks. They were very good, and that ramekin, just enough syrup. Hubby made a good call. Just enough syrup. Because usually I can't. He made pancakes the other day, and he always forgets. Anytime we go somewhere, or if he decides that he wants to make pancakes, he always forgets. I don't know about you guys. I can eat a single pancake in a sitting. I cannot eat two pancakes. I can't even eat one and a half really. If they are decent sized pancakes, which is to say like a pancake that would take up the majority of this plate, or like leave a crescent moon, like take up the majority of the plate, I can eat a single pancake. And he made pancakes the other day and made me two pancakes. And I was like, I'll try. I am feeling kind of hungry today. We'll see. One pancake. I'm a one pancake kind of guy. But I poured some with French toast sticks because the syrup sits in the little ramekin and it doesn't get absorbed by anything. Yes, this is a French toast stick rant. This is a syrup rant. If they sit in the little ramekin, it doesn't get absorbed by anything, and so eat a small amount. It's plenty, but with pancakes, you pour the syrup on top, And then as you're eating half of your pancake, the syrup gets absorbed by the other half of the pancake. And so then you need to, like, I feel like you use more syrup on pancakes and waffles because you pre-pour the syrup and it gets absorbed by, we all know I'm a French toast guy. Yes, you are, Ari. Um, which Oh, he does make good French toast. I should ask him to make some French toast next. But you use more syrup on pancakes and waffles because you pre-pour the syrup and then it gets absorbed by the pancake and waffle, and then there's no like syrup taste because it's absorbed, and so you feel like you're just eating a bready thing. I feel like if it was more commonplace to have a ramekin of syrup with your pancake or waffle for you to dip the piece of pancake or waffle into, everybody would use less syrup.
I use less syrup than most people anyway because I prefer a buttery um French toast or waffle with a little bit of sweetness. So like I drown my pancake or waffle or
Yeah, but
French toast with a bunch of butter
you also
and
like
then
scrape frosting off of cake and cupcakes. You
this is
are
true.
not you are
This is
not the
true.
rule to be measured by.
This is true. That scraped that what they call it, a naked cake or a scraped cake, that would be my cake. Have you seen that cake?
No. I did
I didn't
though.
know.
I went on TikTok. I am
Mhm.
working my way through my messages on
Yeah, I
TikTok.
saw you were active. I saw that last night, but you didn't
Yes.
send me any videos. So,
No, because I haven't watched yours yet. Because I started with the people who had sent me the least amount of videos. So I had one person who sent me like one
mhm.
video, a couple people who sent me like 5 videos, and so I started with the people who sent me the least amount of videos. You want to take a guess at who has sent me over my TikTok hiatus? You want to take a guess at who has sent me the most videos?
uh, Ari.
He's sitting at the chat, sitting in the chat, 92 videos.
Oh Lord,
Ari has sent me 92
92
videos.
videos.
My friend Miranda has sent me 41 videos. My friend Kate has sent me 34 videos. I watched 24 videos from my other friend, and you have sent me 49. And so I'm working from the least up until the most.
What, I have sent you 49?
Yes, in my TikTok hiatus, you have sent me 49 videos.
Oh no. I am
But I am
sorry.
I'm working my way through them. It's okay. I am enjoying all of them. They're all hilarious, but I am working my way through them. I wish that YouTube would let me see the emojis that Ari is sending because it's just.
I know. Because all I get is eyes, pink heart shaped, eyes, pink heart shaped, eyes, pink heart shaped.
And I know what that is, but I don't want to have to read and recall what emoji looks like that. I don't want to use my
this
brain. I
is
just want to see pictures.
this is a naked cake
That looks like a cake that a
where
rich lady would bring to a tea party.
where they scrape just enough frosting on it to be decorative. That would be, and they could take those dollops off the top for me and just leave the scrape
You just
part.
want some sweet bread? Is that what you want? You just want some sweet bread?
Yes, 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 thank you.
That's what pound cakes are for, ma'am.
Yes, yes, thank you. Pound cake is perfect.
Though I do love a good pound
I
cake.
mean,
Pound cake is very
every
nice.
once in a while, if it's a like carrot cake in particular, people usually put a nice cream cheese on it
But don't people also put
and
like coconut shavings on
frosting.
carrot cake?
I don't think so. Coconut shavings is devil food cake or German chocolate. German chocolate is coconut
There's
shavings.
another kind of cake that people have put coconut shavings on that I just, because I stayed away from carrot cake because I think in my head I'm thinking that that's the cake that they put it on. But yes, that is better. All
No,
right.
carrot cake is a nice cream cheese
Okay.
frosting.
I must be thinking of the wrong cake
And
because I
so
can't.
I will occasionally, if they've done a good cream cheese frosting, then I will eat the frosting on a thing because I do like cream cheese frosting. But
Mm,
general frosting, where it's just sugar, I'm not, because it's all, I like the balance of like I like this tendency right now of adding sea salt to desserts, like a sprinkling of
ooh,
sea
love a
salt.
good sea salt
So
caramel.
you you get that, you get the sweetness, but then you get the contrast of a little bit of savory.
Mm.
I like that as opposed to
If you guys thought we were getting to any other segments today, you were mistaken.
Well, we got 30 seconds, not 30 seconds. We got 30 minutes
And
left in
done.
it, so we can switch because we really don't have any more crafty things to talk about. So
Not really.
I mean, talking about food was almost crafty. So so I made the hats. I'm making the hats for Papa.
For
The
Papa.
bobble blanket. I lost the bobble blanket. The bobble blanket is lost somewhere in this house. How I could lose
I
it
I have done that with so
between
many things.
between the office and the bedroom because I don't take the stuff downstairs. It either comes in here or it's in the bedroom. How I lost it between those two. And coloring pages. Now that I have markers, because I was just trying. I was almost good. Literally, I was almost going to buy more markers because I don't feel like my Crayola fine tips. I'm scared I wouldn't have enough colors to do the new
Mhm.
coloring book that I got for Christmas.
Mhm.
And I still have pages in my Quirkles coloring book that I haven't finished yet.
Make sure you swatch
So,
those colors first because my
oh, I'm
Ohuhus that
definitely
I
going to
got,
swatch them.
yeah, because my Ohuhus that I got, you can see the color on the back of the marker, but then when I put them down, 90% of them are like darker than the color that's on
Yeah.
the little marker tip. So definitely swatch
Oh
them.
yeah. I don't ever trust marker tips to tell me what color. You know, quite honestly, I barely trust the pictures on like yarn inspirations to tell me what color the yarn is.
Ah, freaking for real.
It gives me a general idea, but I feel like colors on different screens look different. I can tell because I've got three monitors in front of me right now, and it's going to be different colors on every monitor.
Hmm.
It gets close enough to give me an idea, but not
Yeah, I
full
um
on.
I feel the same way because I needed more because my job does not provide uniforms, but they're like you can wear t-shirts, but they have to be one of these three very specific shades of these three colors. And so I'm like,
Mhm.
okay. And so I was going to I know that Joann's for anybody who doesn't know, Joann's carries t-shirts and sweatshirts for people to like decorate and use their like
Paint
Cricut
and
machine or
color.
whatever and paint on and stuff. But they sell them for fairly cheap, like t-shirts $5, which they don't even sell t-shirts for $5 at Walmart anymore. T-shirts for $5, the sweatshirts like $20, so pretty cheap. But they're solid colors. But so I was gonna go to the Joann's website to and just do a store pickup because I
I'm
Joann's is
listening,
literally
by the
right
way.
down the road.
I'm just checking to see if the plumber's still here.
Sure. Joann's is literally right down the road. So I was going to do a store pickup and just find the shirts that I need and then go in there and pick it up. So I didn't walk into Joann's because every time I walk into Joann's, I spend like $100 because I see the yarn and I'm like, I feel like I need this for a thing. But I was so afraid that if looking at the colors on the screen, they would not be the right colors. And so I ended up walking into Joann's. But you guys should be so proud of me. I walked into Joann's, did not buy any yarn, did not buy any supplies for a separate craft, did not buy any crochet hooks. I walked in, picked up my t-shirts, and walked out. Your girl is learning. I am evolving. I am
Yeah.
growing.
Oh,
That is
before we
what you
get
call
off
growth.
the yarning crafty things, when you say you didn't pick up anything, does that mean you didn't pick up any of that Granny Square yarn?
Not yet. I'm gonna wait till I get paid next week because I don't have. So since we're in the off season right now, I don't have a ton of extra like business um funds to work with at the moment. I've got
Mm-hmm.
one big market coming up this month, and then I might go to the flea market and see if I can offload some stuff at the flea market. Um, but I don't want to go back to doing every weekend yet until April. So I'm working through my stash. That is what the people say. I am working through my stash at the moment. But I do want I'm gonna say this last thing and then we need to get off of yarny thoughts. I want to use the I have not started it yet, Ari. I want because I need to find the colors that I need. I want to use the Red Heart Granny Square yarn. I don't know what I would do with those granny squares. From what it looks like, I've watched a few review videos, and from what it looks like, first of all, from what it looks like, you have to crochet a very specific granny square pattern to make sure that the colors line up correctly, and you have to make sure that your tension is right. And you and I both know we don't swatch in this house. So
Mhm.
you have to have a very, very specific tension. So I don't, first of all, I don't know if it would work out for me. Second of all, even if I somehow magically made it work, I don't know what I would do with those grading squares, because most of the projects that I do are not great. Like, I don't, what am I going to do with grading squares? What am I going to do with grading squares? Because I feel like you have to, I feel like grading squares
Yeah.
work for very specific things. And some of the specific things, a lot of the specific things that use grading squares are kind of ugly to me. Like, I like things that use the granny square stitch, but not in the square. Like the granny stitch shawl that I made, or the granny stitch bandanas that I make, or like the hexagon cardigan. That's a granny stitch. I like the granny stitch. I don't know what I would do with them squares.
I'm generally not a granny square person either, but I am I guess you know how it is when you get attracted to the new,
Yes, that's exactly what
and
this is.
that's what it is. I'm attracted to the new, and I just want to try it.
Yeah, the only thing that I could think of that I would make with granny squares that because your girl got to make stuff to sell. So the only thing that I could think of that I would make with the granny squares would be the, have you seen the granny square fanny packs,
I have
where it's like,
not.
it's one granny square here. You keep looking at that. Since I have a nice new computer, will pull it up
I
on.
like this. I like the blue and white one. The blue and white yarn in
I like the
they call
green
it
one that I showed you that I put in the Discord.
they call it frigid. I like the frigid. I like the way that looks.
I like the green and black one that I put in the Discord that I took a picture of in the store. That's my favorite colorway so far.
I don't know which
Search.
one is the green and black one. I'm trying to see it
Um,
on
it
the
would be
website.
probably the one that's got green in it and also black.
You're a regular laugh riot. You are. Although I kind of like the one that says shadow. The warm wheat's not bad. I'm trying to find green and black. Lily
Using
pad.
Ravelry on the
Oh,
computer
maybe.
is
Oh, they have another
trash.
page of them. Ah, they had another page of them. So you must mean Cyberleaf.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
the Cyberleaf is nice. The Cyberleaf is nice.
Let me. Why is Ravelry on the computer straight up trash? Here we go. Let me. So this is the style. There are several different. Let me present. Share screen. Okay. And I want this Ravelry tab. Share. And then you have to pull it in.
There we go. Oh, that's cute.
See, because it's like one granny square in the middle and then two like
Uh-huh.
folded granny squares on the side. So you technically need four granny squares because you need one for each side in the middle
Uh-huh.
and then two for the sides that are folded in half. That's the only thing that I could think of that I would make a granny squares that I would actually want to make it sell.
That's cute. And I like the Granny Square bucket hats, but the one time I tried to make one, I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it to work for
Yeah, I'd
me.
be afraid of it being too boxy.
I just couldn't get it to work for me. But I yeah, I like some of those colors, and I would just make a blanket. And I know that's not your thing, but I would just make a blanket. And because I'm just making a blanket, I would because I would first of all, I would only buy the yarn. Um oh, that's a cute one too.
But
Oh,
these
that's
aren't the kind of granny squares that you can make with that granny square yarn.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
just the plainest of plain granny squares.
I get what you're saying. Um
I'm
my
honestly,
my last thoughts on this, and then we're going to switch to something else if you want. But first of all, the yarn, if you buy it on Yarn Inspirations, it's 11.99, which
ooh,
is too
it's
expensive.
about that much in the store, honestly, because I think that's what it
Although
was
if
priced
you buy
at.
if you if you buy it online at Aunt Joanne's, which sidebar, it's funny that we keep calling it Aunt Joanne's because we actually have an Aunt Joanne.
Yeah, that's why I started calling it
Um,
Aunt Joanne's.
see,
That was an unnecessary sidebar.
I didn't know that. Okay. Um, the anyway, Aunt Joanne's online has it for 7.99. So that's a much more
Really?
reasonable.
I
That's
should
a much
double check.
more reason. At least they did when I checked it last week. When all the videos were showing up. I hope it's
Ooh, I
still on
should double
sale.
check what it says in her store because it. I thought that it was the. Actually, you know what? I didn't look at the price because I was in there to grab something else, and so I just picked it up, took the picture. I was like, I'm gonna post this on Discord, and then put it back down.
Uh huh. But all the videos, the other thing I was going to say is that all the videos that I have seen about this are people basically saying how much they hate it because it's just it's just regular red heart, not a soft yarn or whatever. But the big thing that people keep saying about it is that it's difficult to get it to line up perfectly
Mm-hmm.
and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what?
That's
I hate changing colors enough in granny squares because I've done a granny square a time or two, and I hate having
mm,
to weave in those ends. That my feelings would not be hurt if some of those colors bleed into a different section. I don't have to have it perfectly
that's
lined
what I
up.
was gonna say. I'm tempted to just buy a couple skeins of that Granny Square yarn and then just use it straight as like a striping pooling
Oh,
yarn.
that's the other thing. Somebody has used it. I saw somebody on YouTube use it straight, where
Oh, you guys send me that video because I want to see what it looks like.
they use it straight, and I liked it. I didn't watch the whole video. I just watched the beginning to see what the project was, and I liked it. I liked it.
Because
So
I feel
you
like
can use it
those,
like
because
that.
they pick good colors. Because that's the thing that
Mhm.
I hate is I feel like I'm bad at picking colors that go together, and so I feel like
Oh
those would be good
yes.
colors for like if I'm making witch hats, if I'm making shawls, if I'm making just like beanies. I feel like they would be just good colors that go together.
I am very bad at picking colors. So I get exactly what you are saying.
Okay, we said that was the
So
last thing we were gonna say. We have got to move on.
we have got to move on. So which one we've got about 15 minutes. So which one you want to hit? You want to hit reading or games?
Reading has more stuff, so let's see if we can knock some of these out and clear it out.
Okay. Well, first off the top, my whole algorithm on TikTok has been taken over by cruise talk, and so I
I've
have
seen
to
a
do
total of
something.
like before the hiatus, I've seen a total of like maybe 5 cruise videos. I don't know how you're getting all these
Well,
cruise
no,
videos.
generally I don't see cruise videos, but no, I did this to myself
Uh,
because I saw generally I would only see one or two cruise videos. And so I saw a couple during that one or two period about the 9-month world cruise. They came up in my FYP right before the cruise started, like a week or maybe even 3 days before the cruise started. It was like real close. And I was
mm,
like, oh, I'm interested in this. And so then there was this one woman who calls herself the CT director, where she's basically commenting on other people's videos who are on the ship, right?
okay.
So because she was interested in the whole thing. So and they're calling it a reality show. So um they're like calling them new characters. And
Mm,
so I started following all the different people that she talked about because oh okay, I want to see what all the different people are doing. But then I I'm starting to pull it back now because I
mm,
started following everybody that they mentioned that is on the cruise, and it's like a lot of some of them are boring, some
mm.
of them are, but a lot of them are doing like
The
the
same
same
thing.
because they're all going on the same excursions, so they're all kind of covering the same thing.
Yeah.
So I had to like stop, and then there was one person who's not on the cruise but was trying to do the same thing that the one lady who calls herself the CT director.
Mm,
Um, and I was following her, but then I started seeing videos from people who are actually on the cruise contradicting what she was saying, and it's like, "Oh, you're just trying to serve drama is what you're doing." So I
Ooh.
stopped following her. Like
Ooh,
for
this
like
tea
one
is piping
like
hot.
like
Spill the tea.
like I stopped exactly like I stopped following her because she was talking about how Royal Caribbean is not um did not prepare for there to be any kind of Christmas celebration on the cruise, even though they are on this, they're at sea on Christmas,
Mm-hmm.
right? But luckily, I saw her video talking this yang after I had already seen 3 videos from people on the cruise talking about I mean, not just talking, but showing the beautiful Christmas tree that Carnival had. Because this woman over here was talking about, oh, all the people on the ship have had to like make their own decorations and kind of gather stuff amongst themselves to try to make it festive because Carnival didn't
Mm-hmm.
make any kind of preparations. Meanwhile, you watch videos from people on the ship and there's a huge Christmas tree in the center, that center lobby area where people hang
Bruh.
out, huge Christmas tree, and people from the staff singing Christmas carols and the whole Christmas show
The thing about stuff like
on
that that
stage and
confuses
stuff.
me, the thing about stuff like that that confuses me is if you're posting stuff like this and posting things to get like attention and reaction, you want people to see your stuff. The only
Uh-huh.
reason that you would post stuff like this and lie is so that people can see your stuff. But if people see your stuff, anybody can see your stuff. So what are you
Uh-huh.
gonna do when Royal Caribbean is coming at you saying why are you lying on my name?
Mhm. Well,
Like what's the
and
end goal?
I mean, I don't think Royal Caribbean has even come at them. In my case, I watched her and I was like, "Ooh," she said, because I watched a couple things she said, but I didn't have any corroboration, so I was believing her like I was believing the other person, and then it was like, "Oh, because the CT director is like being very nice and pleasant and not catty at all." And then
Mm-hmm.
so I thought followed this one woman and she was being a little bit more snarky, so I thought, "Oh, we might get, if there's any real drama on the ship, we'll get it from her."
Mm-hmm.
But then I realized after, I watched some other videos, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about. So I
She is not gonna
immediately
start drama.
stopped following her. So when I posted that in Google Keep, my entire feed was pretty much because I only watch for a certain amount of time at night. For those who don't know, I watch TikTok at bedtime. I don't like pick it out throughout the day. I watch like one of the people I watch on YouTube, she's around my age. She said she treats TikTok like a TV show. She gets on there, she watches it for about an hour in the evening, and then she's done. And that's me. I mean, I think I watch a little longer than an hour, but no, I watch roughly 45 minutes, I think, because then that's when the YouTube, I mean not the YouTube, the TikTok thing kicks in and
Comes in and
says,
says, "Hey, you've been watching for a while. Shouldn't you be laying down?"
no, it says more about take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out. And then it has you take about 3 or 4 deep breaths and it says, "There. Now I bet you can go to sleep. We'll see you tomorrow." That kind of thing. Or the other lady that, are you still clicking and watching videos? Are you having trouble getting to sleep? I know, Ronald. I know I said books. I said reading because the top of our list says, "What have you been reading, watching, listening to?" So
Mm-hmm.
when I say reading, she knows which list I'm talking about. But there's
Yeah,
actually
we.
there's actually hardly any books on there because I don't think y'all are interested in what I'm reading because it is 95% romance. So
And I have
although
not
I
read a
do
single
have
thing recently.
although I do have one book that I do want to mention.
Actually, I've got some web comics I've been reading recently. I'm gonna add that to the list for later for us to talk about, but web comic reviews because I've been reading a lot of web comics lately.
But yeah, I do want to mention that I have been trying to read All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Oh no. Oh no. I've had a colonoscopy before. It is
Oh
not
no.
fun.
That doesn't sound
It,
fun.
it's not. The worst part is before to prep for the surgery, they
Because you
make
have to
you
like flush
drink
your system.
yeah, so you have to drink that quart of nasty stuff, and then you have to sit in there and go to the bathroom and clear yourself out the night before. So yes, that's the worst part of it. Having the procedure itself really isn't bad. The worst part of it is just the preparation for it. So I definitely empathize.
Feel better, Ronald's husband. I hope it goes well.
Yes, I hope it goes well too. But I've been trying to read All Systems Red by Martha Wells. And when I say trying to read, because it's not a romance whatsoever, but people on my different, like YouTube and Book Talk and different things, different other sources of media that I consume keep recommending this book. And I tried to read
Hmm.
it a while back and I got through like the first two pages. It's like, okay, this is not for me. And then I said, well, I'm going to try again. And so I'm like, I'll read a chapter and then I'll stop. Like Kindle kind of recycles the way they put things, what they bring to your attention when you open the app. And
Hmm.
so, like, if I open the app and they've popped that book toward the front, I'm like, okay, I'll read a little bit of this. And but it's about this. It's in this world. First of all, they drop you right in, which is not my favorite thing because then I have to acclimatize myself to what kind of world this is. But they
Yeah.
drop you right in. Basically, it's a sci-fi book. It's a
Hmm.
world where this I guess you would call him a cyborg or
Okay.
possibly an android. He looks
Does he have some
relatively
human parts or does he not have any
yes,
human
he
parts?
no, he has some organic parts,
Then that's a
but
cyborg.
he has some organic parts. So for the most part, he can kind of look human, but there's something a little bit weird about his eyes, and I think he's got like guns on his forearms or something. But because they haven't even given a full description of what he looks like, but or what they look like, I should say. Um, but they they are a murder bot. Um,
That
they
was a big
are
jump.
They are a murder bot. Well, they call themselves a murder bot because they in their head because you're listening to them in their head. Okay?
Okay.
In their head, they're giving this running commentary of what's going on. They are what's called a sec unit, basically a security unit that is assigned, like, say you have a group that wants to go to this planet and excavate some resources because you have been given the license or whatever to go to this section and get the
Hmm.
resources so that your company can sell them. So your company is going to send your group out there, but you have to you can go to this other company and buy maps and in intelligent software to help you get around and different the little rover things, that
Hmm.
you can rent from this other company. But when you rent from this other company, you are required to also take the sec unit with you, which is kind of like protection, you know,
Okay.
to protect your they say it's to protect the people, but it's
I'm
kind
assuming
of
it's
to
to
protect
protect their merchandise.
yeah, it's kind of to protect the merchandise. And so the murder bot, basically any strange creatures come, they're supposed to murder the creatures or whatever. Um well, at the very start of this book, this murder bot is like, I don't want I'm paraphrasing. I really don't feel like going to work. I'd rather be back in my bunk watching TV because I got 3 seasons of whatever show.
That's funny.
And so basically what has happened is that he's tired of murdering. He's tired of being a murder bot. He has um he knows that the company that owns him is jank. He
Hmm.
has disabled what what is called his governing software or governing module
Hmm.
or whatever, which basically this is the module that if he acts up, they can yank him back or deactivate him or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
So
He
he shut
figured
that
out
down.
he figured out a while back how to shut that down, so and make it look like it's still running so
Ooh.
that they can't really be watching what he's doing. So when he's in his off time, he can be in his bunk watching TV.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all he's really using it for is to watch TV.
That's hilarious.
But also at the beginning of this story, he has um something the two people that he has gone out onto the planet to protect, one of
Mm-hmm.
them gets attacked by some sort of creature, but the software that his company has rented to this group, there's pieces missing that is supposed to tell you that these creatures are out there. So somebody has yanked out the information to tell them that those creatures are out there. So it's like, are you trying to get these people killed?
Yeah.
What is going on?
The drama.
So and so the murder bot is starting to show some sort of empathy toward the like when he went and rescued the guy who almost got snatched by the creature, he was like talking to him and calming him down and everything the whole time he was what and he showed his face, which normally he doesn't show his face. He keeps his helmet on. He showed his
Mm-hmm.
face so he would look more human and calm the guy down. And everybody's looking at him like, why is the murder bot being nice?
Mm-hmm.
So he's starting to slip a little bit to where the humans can see that
Yeah.
he's not just a murder bot. So he's trying to reel it back in so they don't get him deactivated.
Ooh.
And that's as far as I got.
Why are you not reading this right this very moment? I want to know what's going on.
Because I'm just it's sciency and people on a planet and it's like I'm not interested.
Chloe, I need you to splice in all the times that she's been talking about alien romances and people on planets and spaceships and things. Thank you.
Whatever. The trust me, the alien romances are less sciency. It's more about the interaction of the people. This doesn't have as much interaction of the people other than the murder bot is a bit of an introvert and doesn't want to talk to the people.
Mm. Speaking of which, is the
So
plumber still there?
no, the plumber is gone.
Okay.
The plumber fixed the seal on the two toilets that were having the leaking issue. And but he couldn't do anything with the shower yet because he doesn't know if our insurance covers the shower.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to get back to us as to whether the insurance covers the shower. If the insurance doesn't cover the shower, then we've got to. So he fixed the seals and he fixed it to where your father can replace the toilets themselves
Mm-hmm.
himself without us flooding the bathroom.
Okay. Did
So
you tell Isaac that the plumber is gone so we can come home?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
I'm not caught up on Doctor Who yet, Ari. She's caught up though, I think.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. I am caught up.
Oh, did we? I forgot that
I
we
am
talked.
caught
I
up.
couldn't remember if we talked about it. We talk on here, but then we also talk on Sunday game night chat, and it's
Uh-huh.
all through it's all through video chat, and so I forget when we talked about stuff. I may not actually have to leave at noon today. He said he goes to work kind of late today, so I just have to figure out what time he goes to work.
Well, check out what you need to check out.
I'm
Check
texting
out
him
what
right
you
now,
need to check out.
even though he's in the other room. I am sending him a text message.
But so that is maybe I'll pop it up on the screen so y'all can see it. But that is All Systems Red by Martha Wells. Because I'm not 100% sure that I got that right, to be honest. That I got the author's name right.
Yeah, do that so we can give her her flowers, give her her credit.
But everybody is about oh it's on and there is an audiobook. So, if somebody gets you Audible for your birthday, what are these birth why is Google putting birthday balloons across my face?
Why would Google be putting birthday balloons across your face today, Mother? Let's ponder
I
this
d-
for a moment.
I don't know. But at least 5 books in this series, and they're all on Amazon on Kindle Unlimited. If you're a Kindle Unlimited person, there are. Let's see.
I
Let's share
wish,
this tab instead.
I
But
wish
the
you
series is
could,
called The Diary.
I
You
wish
wish you could
there was a
what?
service where you could rent audiobooks the way that you rent movies, because it's essentially the same thing. Like once you watch a movie, you have that knowledge in your brain. Once you listen to an audiobook, you have the story in your brain. Why can I not rent audiobooks for a cheaper price? Because a lot of the times I'm not going to listen to them again. Why can I not rent audiobooks for a cheaper price
Yeah,
without having to have some sort of subscription and just rent it so that I can
yeah, I
listen to
feel
it
you.
and then be done?
I feel you.
I feel like the audiobook
But there are
market is
seven. There's
really,
7 books in the series.
it sounds really cool.
Murderbot.
I want to read it.
But yeah, I guess Audible is the closest you're going to get to a
You right,
rental
Ari.
situation.
Ari was talking about you, not you saying, "Oh, but it's science stuff and I like science stuff," but you like Doctor Who.
But Doctor Who is not science stuff. Doctor Who, if you watch the early years of Doctor Who was way more detailed and educational in the beginning. These later ones, since they started in 2000, they just they just sprinkle some words out there, and really you just watch them run do the snappy banter. There's no I don't pay attention to any of that other stuff. As David Tennant said in one of the episodes, it's wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. That explains perfectly Doctor Who. You don't have to pay attention to any of what they're talking about to enjoy the relationships between the people. And that's what I watch Doctor Who for, the relationships between the people. Just it's not just with sciencey stuff, to be honest, because we watch crime procedurals
Ooh, I
all
love a
the time.
procedural.
Your father and I, like an NCIS, or we used to watch CSI, but we don't anymore. Mainly NCIS or murder mystery stuff. But I never understand what's going on with the case that they're investigating or who they're chasing, especially if on NCIS when they have a big bad and it has to do with some sort of international spy ring situation. I don't understand any of that. I watch the show for the interactions between the people and the banter. I don't understand any of that.
These are full chaos statements that you're saying right now. Full chaos.
I
I
think
watch crime procedurals, but I don't care about the crime. I just want to hear them have their cute little chat.
mhm.
I watch Doctor Who, but I don't care about the science and aliens. I just want to hear them have their cute little chat. You just
I
need a
think
cute
that's
little chat show.
I think that's why you can get away with so many crime procedural shows or so many doctor shows or so many, because really there's only so many reasons that somebody murdered somebody. Okay, they're repeating them over and over. Really
You
you're
got that right.
watching them. Really you're watching them because you like the the main characters on the show, the recurring characters on the show, and how they interact with each other as they're solving this mystery. Because the mysteries themselves, there's only, like I said, there's only so many reasons somebody's going to murder somebody. So, I mean, there's only so many things that are going to happen in the hospital. You're watching it to see the interactions between the people who work at the hospital, not to see the medical cases that show up or whatever.
Yeah, but you still like the medical cases are still like 70% of what makes up the episode, and you are blocking out like 70% of every episode.
Honestly, honestly, if we want to take the different shows, I block out less of the medical stuff. For most of the medical stuff, even though I'm not trying to pretend I'm a doctor or anything, but I I understand most of what they're talking about on the medical shows when they're talking about the different medical cases more so than I understand the crime things or on some of these other sciencey like Doctor Who where they try to talk about, oh well, this happened in this and this and this. So
Chaos.
so I just understand more of that going on. So did you check on whether you need to go, dear? Because
He
it's
didn't text me back.
it's
I
12.
gotta let me stand up and walk in there. Um,
Okay, so I guess I'm going to vamp,
yeah, you can talk to Ari. He's in the chat.
vamp. I can talk to Ari because Ari's in the chat. It's so nice of Ari to be in the chat. Yes, I know medicine is science, but I'm talking about the non-medical science stuff, Ari. The I don't know why, but the shows that are doctor shows, I just understand that. And to be fair, I was talking about this. I know. I was talking about this with my son the other day, and I think it's just a general fatigue on my part where because I used to seek out difficult things. As my son says, I used to be a bit pretentious. I used to seek out difficult things to read and to watch and to make sure people saw me reading and watching difficult things to show off how smart I was, you know. But these days, it's like, I don't know. I don't know. If you think of my brain, which I often do, if you think of my brain as a room with a door, I want I want something that is just going to like float on into the room. I don't want to have to push that door open to get this information into my into the room. You know what I mean? And some things I have to, use all my brain strength to get this thing into my head and I will understand it. Because it's the same thing with board games too. Some of the board games are just real easy and they click with me. But then there's other board games that I play on Board Game Arena and it's like, ugh, this is like doing math. I don't
Yeah.
want. No.
I don't feel like trying to figure out welcome to the government today.
Exactly. There's too many different like we've talked about before. Some people play board games, mostly of the male persuasion I have found, and they get
Looking at you,
heavy
Ronald, and
into
Ronald's husband.
the strategy of, well, there are this many blue tiles left in the Azul bag, and there's this many white tiles in the Azul bag. And if five of them have already come out, then that means there's three left. And then so I need to do this and that. No, I can't do that. I can't
Not
do
you
that. I
counting
just want to
cards
play.
with the Azul tiles.
I just want to play my game. But so many people that I watch
No, I
do.
understand. Yeah, Wayne
They
does that too
do.
because I
That's
we've had this conversation before about how he plays like magic and stuff. And the whole point of this is why I can't build magic decks because you have to plan forward of like, oh, if I lay this down, what are the chances that this card is going to come up so that I can play it with this card and blah blah blah. And I'm like, just give me a deck and I'm
mhm.
gonna lay down cards. Don't even tell me what's in it, honestly.
Really trying to think about the probabilities, like when some people play Can't Stop Express, it's like, well, the sevens are the number that are most likely to come up on a die, and the twos are the least likely to come up, so you want to avoid those and blah 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 blah. I'm like, and I like playing Can't Stop. And I've internalized a little bit of that as far as knowing that sevens come up a lot and twos don't come up a lot, so don't bother with the twos. But other than that, I
Hmm.
have trouble. I have trouble with all that kind of strategizing. It's just so that's how I feel about watching these shows. Is that it's a lot of I know exactly who you're talking about, Ronald. I know. I know exactly who you're talking about. But th- there are when I watch these shows, if I really stopped, like put my knitting down, don't play my BGA turns while I'm watching TV.
And you
Maybe get a
just
pen and paper and just totally focus on the screen and
not you
not
with the pen and
talk.
paper solving the crime with them.
Then I might understand what they're talking about. But half the time, I'm just trying to relax and watch the show, knit a little, you know, talk to my husband while it's going on. And so I miss some things,
Mhm.
so I don't put all the pieces together.
I've had a couple episodes of Midsummer Murders like that, where most of the episodes, even if I'm sitting and crocheting and kind of watching along with them, I can kind of figure out what's going on. Like, but there were a couple episodes where I'm like, I have been listening this whole time and I still don't know who you're after, honestly, or why you're after this person. And I just wait till the end
Mhm.
for them to for them to explain it to me.
Mhm. I mean, I can pretty much, follow the action. It's like, okay, the guy that we want is in this warehouse, so let's get some people out to the warehouse, and then they get to the warehouse and they, run after him. Blah blah. I can follow all that, but when you get deeper about,
When they're
he's
doing the whole
plotting,
"we found this piece of toast here," when everyone knows what that means, do we?
you know, or it's more like, well, he he has been plotting this, and so he has all these different aliases, and then he was involved in the war back in blah blah blah, and then he did this and this. I can't follow all that without a pen and paper. So did you figure out if you have to go take the man?
Yeah, I got it like 20 minutes. So we got some time.
Okay.
Um,
I'm waiting on my coworker who I'm helping work today. She has to do her half before I can do my half, so I'm waiting to do my half.
okay.
So
I'm gonna
already,
mark off cruise talk because we talked about that. Oh,
yeah.
we talked about my work radio stuff last week, didn't we? Because we were
Yep,
talking
we
about them
did.
playing the B
We did.
52s. Okay. So I'm
We
gonna mark that
did.
off. They again played Deadbeat Club on the radio yesterday, by the way. Crazy. Um,
See, now you're gonna
this
make
is
me wanna listen to it again today.
I've been listening to Mesopotamia for the last like week. Um, so is this would have been easier to talk about if we had talked about it when I put it on the list, but I can't recall all the details. But it was around Christmas time. I put in that the Hobby Lobby commercials are going just far too hard. Like you don't need to do this that much. Because there was a commercial. I was like watching the commercial in tears, about to cry, because it was like this girl who was like in her. We will talk about this after the chat, Ari, because I still need to figure out how to get that. I need to figure out what info that I need to give to you, which means I need to talk to my mother and my papa who is left. Um, but it was this Hobby Lobby commercial of this girl, and she's looking out her window and sees her dad like in the barn with like the sheep. And so she goes to Hobby
Yes,
Lobby.
I know the one you're
Yeah.
talking about.
And she gets like, I can't remember if she gets like yarn and knit something or she like is sewing something. But then she goes back out and her dad like shears the sheep. So the sheep doesn't have any wool anymore. And so she made a blanket for the sheep so the sheep wouldn't be cold in the winter after they sheared the sheep. And I was like, you did not need to do this with this commercial, wiping tears away, sniffle, sniffle. It was
Yep,
unnecessary. Christmas time is when they're like, every single heartstring you got, they're in the palm of my hand. Like everybody is
yep.
like, this is the time we are pulling the heartstrings. Yes, it's Hobby Lobby sheep commercial that went too hard for no reason.
I'm gonna
And we're
mute
just
the
gonna watch the
sound
whole
because you
commercial.
really don't need
Sure.
the sound. You
Yeah, we
don't
don't
really
need
need the
to.
sound for the commercial.
No, but you guys can watch this while I am going on to the next week because I'm gonna knock some of these points out of here. Um, Prime Video, tell me why I am paying 13 something dollars a month or whatever to have access to Amazon Prime and Prime Video, and they are adding commercials. Did you get that
I
email?
know. No, I didn't see that, but I know in general, a lot of these things are adding commercials when we're already giving them money.
Exactly. The point of commercials is so that you can get money. I am already paying money to view your content. Stop being greedy. Because you don't even,
Exactly.
especially for Prime, your content's not even that good anyway. You don't even have access to that much stuff anyway. If you were a Hulu or a Netflix or an HBO Max,
I don't understand why some of the stuff for Prime Video, I originally thought for Prime Video, if it's available digitally, I should be able to get it on Prime Video. I don't
no.
understand why there's some things on Prime and they still want you to pay, $50 for the entire season. I'm like,
It's like I
why?
have my library card.
I'm already paying you for Prime.
Exactly. It's as if I
Why do
have
I
my
have to pay
library card
again for this video?
and I go to the library and they're like, oh, sure, you can check out any of these books at the library. And I go into the deeper secondary library and I'm like, oh, can I check out this book with the library? No, you have to buy that one. It's like having a bookstore connected to your library, is what it feels
Yep,
like. And it's really
yep.
annoying. So, but I'm going to mark that off.
It
Um,
is very annoying. I get you.
and we're still watching this Hobby Lobby commercial of the dad shearing the sheep and the child because she's got such a big heart. Um, the I'm gonna briefly touch on this because I watched some videos on the Woolen folk drama. Did
I watched some videos on the Woolen Folk drama too.
I'm looking at the comments right now. This is a commercial. It's like a movie. Exactly. Christmas time is where they're like, all year we're going to save up our budget. We're going to have a $2.5 million commercial. We're going to hire this girl from the Netherlands who is getting into her acting career. And we're going to like, they save up all of their money for Christmas. That was, you see that? Hobby Lobby. That was a
Yep.
commercial.
Oh no, there's another one. Is it Hobby Lobby? There's a whole the thing where they draw and it moves.
Animation?
Thank you. And they've done a whole series. I don't know if it's Chipotle or if it's Hobby Lobby, but they've got a whole series that they've brought up, and I've watched 2 of them, and I mean, it's a whole short film. It's a whole, like, 10, 15 minutes short film.
Was it
It's not just
Christmas
a
time or
commercial.
was it just cause?
I think it came out around Thanksgiving time, but they also had
Okay.
it's like they had a couple of them come out last year, and then they brought out a new one this year that I watched, but
Mm-hmm.
it's all part of a thing.
Yeah.
But you continue to talk, I'll bring it up.
You're good. There, while we're talking about commercials, there was another one that I saw that was it was a oh, who was it? It may have also been Hobby Lobby. Maybe we're thinking of the same one, but it's this girl and they're like she like stumbles upon this like old man in his workshop and he's like, let me show you the power of like helping people, and he like takes her into
Yes,
the secret
yes,
secondary
that's the
workshop.
one,
Yes.
that's the
And
one.
yes, and there's this whole magic tree and he's like, every time someone in your world helps somebody, it makes a new magical bauble grow on the tree, which helps all the plants and animals grow, so you need to help the
Yes, that's
people.
exactly what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
it is a full like 30-minute like that's another thing that pisses me off is when I'm watching YouTube and I don't have the hands to press the skip ad button and they're like, "Oh, she hasn't skipped the last 4 ads. Let's give her a 20-minute ad." Ads should
I
not be
know, I hate
longer.
the 20-minute ads.
5-minute maximum. If your ad is the length of a television show, no longer an advertisement, go call QVC because I don't want it. What are you doing? 20 minutes.
Exactly,
But
exactly,
it's
it's
yeah, she like
ridiculous.
it's this whole thing, and she like there's this kid that was being mean to her brother, and she's like, you need to go talk to this kid. He's being bullied at home, and blah blah blah. And then they go and it was chaos. Is that did she make that with the red heart?
I was trying to pause it at the part so I could show you.
It looks
Yes.
so good.
That is the she uses, like, you see she's got, like, solid black,
Uh
and then
huh.
for the ones that are not solid black, that's the red heart, granny square yarn.
Did she do planned pooling or did she just crochet it straight?
I haven't watched enough of the video to know if she did plan pooling or if she just went for it. But but she used the super saver. I need to save this video so I can watch it later.
Yeah,
But she did
I need to get some I need
because
to get some of that red heart yarn.
I'm not doing a planned pooling, but if she just let it go, I will do that.
Yeah, because I've had multiple people at Faye Nectar asking me, saying like, "Oh, you should make blankets this time of year because people buy them," and I'm like, "No one's gonna buy a friggin' $700 blanket." But if I make it on the knitting machine, if I throw some of that yarn on the knitting machine and can just,
Yeah.
I feel like it would look good. I agree with you, Ari. Super. I like this. I like waiting for the Super Bowl commercial because that feels like a. It feels like its own form of entertainment. But if I'm just watching my YouTube video and you interrupt my Jacksepticeye for a 20-minute commercial about these knives that you're trying to sell me right now, or a 40-minute commercial about how it's the beginning of the new year and you actually need to stop eating vegetables to lose weight and try eating some more popcorn granola chocolate, like, get out of my face.
Popcorn granola Oh, you were so funny. Or the mood gummies.
Or the mood gummy commercials are funny though. That's the other thing. If you give me a long commercial but it's funny, you're okay. You're okay in my book. But if you're not funny and you're just like, everybody has issues down there. Literally, I was watching YouTube and then all of a sudden the commercial comes up and I'm busy doing something. And all of a sudden I hear, after you have sex, semen continues leaking out of your vagina for the next week. You should try Lumi.
Oh,
And I'm like, what?
oh
I was
no,
unprepared. Lumi is
no,
really just out there. She just out of nowhere.
no.
And I was like, Lumi, reel it back in, please.
Really, that is so wrong. That is so wrong.
I was unprepared. Ronald says, so we have YouTube Premium, but we don't see ads here. But many creators have sponsors for their videos, so we still see those ads. It's yeah, it's there. You don't
Okay.
wanna, it's there. They really have a
Okay.
whole series.
Stories of Evergreen Hills. I told you they have a whole series. I had to remember the name of it for a second.
And I feel like I remember seeing at the end of, because I watched one of them all the way through because I was already
Uh-huh.
sucked in, wanted to see what's going on. But I watched one of them all the way through, and at the end it said like coming something 2024. Like, are they making a show?
I don't know what they're doing. I read about it.
Oh yeah, it's big at
Yeah.
chicken. It's big at chicken.
See, as
I know
much
where you're
as
going with this conversation.
you know exactly where I'm going, as much as I want to be an ally, Chick-fil-A was the only person when my children were looking for jobs, the local Chick-fil-A here was the only place that hired my son and my daughter and Libby's son
Hmm.
before he went off to whatever. I forget what, I can't remember what he went into the military or went off to be a firefighter, one of the two. But yeah, I so
We can
Chick-fil-A
support that one and still call them big at chicken.
Chick-fil-A supported at least the one here supported, at least two of my children for quite a long time. So I have trouble being super mad at them. But
Not Ronald saying sometimes I have a craving for the waffle fries.
yep. Yep, yep, yep. Exactly. I think I hear your brother coming home.
Ooh, and I'm gonna have
So
to leave shortly. Sorry to say, the only
so
time I'm really good at places for peppermint shakes. But sir, you could get a Shamrock shake. What are you talking about? It's almost time for the Shamrock shakes, though, guys, and I am so excited. I love a shake. Everybody else,
last time I had a Shamrock Shake though, it wasn't good.
you have to catch them on the right day. You really have to go through the entire Shamrock Shake season and keep trying because the way that the machine works, no, they're not the same, Ari, because Shamrock Shakes are better. Anyway, the way the machine works is it's got this little syrup thing, and if the syrup bag is nearly empty, it will put the syrup in with like half of your shake, and then the rest of it will be straight vanilla. Because the way that the shake machine works is it.
Wait a minute, wait a
Oh,
minute. Did you get me Chinese food for my birthday? Thank you. Thank you. Chinese food for my birthday. Considering my stomach hurts and I haven't eaten anything other than bread and yogurt, I needed that
Look at
Chinese food.
you.
Thank you, Isaac.
Look at you. Tell Isaac I said
What
hi.
you get me? Is this beef and broccoli? Beef
Anyway,
and
I'm
mixed
going to
vegetables.
continue about the
Thank you.
Shamrock Shake. So the way that the Shamrock Shake works, the way that the McDonald's ice cream machine works, is they have vanilla ice cream. They dump a big thing of ice cream mix, liquid ice cream mix in the top, and it mixes and slowly solidifies into soft serve, right?
I think your father
And
wanted to look
ice
at it.
cream
I
and the
don't
shake
know.
come from the same machine, and so
But
on
so
like
there's
one
still a
half makes
hole
it
in the
colder, the
ceiling
other
down
half
there?
is not. Oh,
Okay.
Ronald.
Well, they fixed the
But can you mute yourself? I'm explaining Shamrock Shakes right now. Thank you. Um, so so the way that they put the flavor in is it'll pump vanilla ice cream into the cup, and as it's pumping in, there's a second line that comes from the bottom with the flavor bag that mixes the mint in there. So there's literally no way for them to add extra mint into your ice cream because it's a pre-mixed thing. And what happens is if the bag is mostly empty or if there's like a kink in the line or something, it won't put enough mix in there, which is why I say you have to go several times. You have to be dedicated. If you want a good Shamrock Shake, you have to be dedicated, which is why the best Shamrock Shakes I had were when I was working there, because you can see when it's mixed correctly, because it's also because that Shamrock is green. And so when it pumps in there, if it's mostly empty, you'll get like half vanilla, half mint. And then if that mixes together, it's too much vanilla. You have to go several times until you get that perfect shake. Perfect. And that's why I wait yearly for the peppermint shake. Nah, it's not the same. Also, who doesn't want a green shake? It's just a lovely supernatural color for no reason. I think I've only had the peppermint shake one time, so I wouldn't know. I'm just out here causing trouble. I've only had the peppermint shake one time. But oh, also, extra side note, the reason that your McDonald's ice cream machines were always broken. Sometimes they weren't broken. Sometimes somebody just didn't want to make you some ice cream. But a lot of times they were broken. And the reason they stayed broken was because McDonald's for a long time, you could only get your McDonald's ice cream machine repaired by an official like McDonald's repairman. Like only the official McDonald's repairman could come work on your machine, and they only had like so many of those in the area, which is why the ice cream machines were always broken, because you had to wait until the repairman in your area could come out and fix your machine. What about when they had the Shamrock McFlurry? You could add, okay, when they had the Shamrock McFlurry, that was a bottle of syrup. But most of the time with the ice cream machine, they didn't have the syrup. I forgot that you all were one. I forgot you were Chloe. Two, I forgot you also worked at McDonald's. But they recently, and by recently I mean within the last like 5 years, I think they officially broke down that like McDonald's law or whatever. So now you can have any like local repairman come out. I mean, not any, you're not calling your cousin Joe from down the road working on cars, but like anybody who knows how to fix that kind of machinery, they can come out and fix your ice cream machine now, which means the ice cream machines should be working a lot more often now, because you don't have to wait for that official McDonald's repairman. Yes, confidential McDonald's secrets. That's what I'm here for, is to tell you confidential McDonald's secrets. Like the hotcakes that you get from McDonald's, they don't make those on the grill. We get a pack of frozen hotcakes like you would get at the store, a pack of frozen pancakes that you would get at the store, and we put them in the microwave. That is your hotcakes at McDonald's, is microwave pancakes. You're also muted, mother, so I can't hear any words that you're saying. I know, we're about to close it down.
I'm gonna get dressed.
Okay.
And we'll go down. I'll check the oil and stuff.
Okay.
I don't think I have ever eaten pancakes at McDonald's. I've had the McGriddle. That's as close. I've had a egg McMuffin and a McGriddle. That's as close to breakfast as I've had at McDonald's.
We still make the biscuits from scratch, because I used to be a biscuit person at McDonald's. We still make the biscuits from scratch, but the pancakes we put in the microwave, the McGriddles, they also come pre-made, and we just pop them in the oven to like thaw them and warm them up so they get all soft, and then that's your McGriddles. You guys don't make the biscuits from scratch anymore either? I mean, we make them with biscuit mix. Unless, well, Chloe, you worked at a franchise store, so I don't know if y'all were doing something different and buying pre-made biscuits. And my McDonald's, where we were corporate, we had biscuit mix that I had to pour into a bowl, turn on this big machine that you had to be at least 16 years old to operate, and put in buttermilk and mix the dough, and then dump that thing out and roll it out and punch out biscuits. And that's why my back hurts, because that table was a little bit too low.
Oh, poor baby.
Started getting frozen biscuits in 1999. That had to have been a franchise. Because I better not have been making biscuits that hurt my back for no reason. But we could have been getting frozen biscuits. Y'all must have been working franchise. Because at the corporate store, we made our biscuits from scratch.
Oh Lord. So while we're wrapping this up, did you pick up Tiny Sticker Tail?
I did pick up Tiny Sticker Tail, and I played through the whole game.
You played through the whole thing already?
Yeah, I played through the whole thing in one sitting. It's like a puzzle game, but it's
Yeah.
the puzzles are
I
fairly
watched
easy.
somebody, but I didn't watch all the way through because I knew that I would want to pick it up. If it's something that I feel like I'm gonna want to pick up, I don't watch all the way through.
You should play it. It was easy enough for me to play through in one sitting. It was like a couple hours. Bye, Ronald.
Bye, Ronald.
I hope your exam thing goes okay tomorrow, Ronald's husband.
Sending good vibes.
Sending prayers and good vibes. But yeah, it was easy enough that I was able to play it in one sitting. It was like a couple hours, but I played through it in one sitting. I didn't 100% it because you can collect all of the stickers, and I think I
Uh,
collected like 80 to 90% of the stickers. And there was one thing that I just really couldn't figure out, and it was getting late. So I was like, you know what? I got to the end of the story. I feel satisfied with the stickers that I have collected. I'm done. But it was a cute, sweet, wholesome little story. I liked it. And it was a fun way
cool.
to pass it. It was a fun way to pass the time.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on what things are free on the because I have Amazon Prime and they give a free game I think once a week. And
Ooh, I need to get that.
Epic gives a free game once a week. So I have been keeping an eye on both of those, trying to remember to get my free game. Um
I did also download a couple more games because do you remember what I purchased like over a year ago? The Ukraine game bundle from
yeah,
itch.io.
yeah, I bought that Ukraine game bundle too.
I fully
We both
forgot that
bought it
I
at the same time.
yeah. I because it had backbone in it, which is I think why we were originally buying it. But I fully
Which is called Tales Noir now, by the way.
oh
So
love a rebrand.
If you see Tales Noir, it's the same game.
Love a rebrand. But I still have not finished playing that, so I need to play it. But I was looking
What
at
you started playing it without us?
no, I started playing it
Oh,
with
okay.
you
Oh, okay.
and
I was
never
about to
finished
say
playing it.
if you're playing it without us, then I will just go play it by myself.
No, I'm thinking maybe we can do a stream Friday on in the Discord and just stream
Okay,
with
well,
us playing the game.
I'm not going to be here Friday because I'm probably going to be going to your aunt Terry's. She's trying to kidnap me for a whole weekend for my birthday.
The whole weekend. Okay, well it is your birthday. Go off. Um, so maybe next weekend that we can do this. But what are my words? Oh, but I downloaded a couple games from that because I was looking through like Steam and by Ari, I won't be late. He will come get me. He will make sure I'm not late. But I was looking through Steam and I was like, oh well, let me like wish list some of these games that I was never able to like download because now I have a laptop that'll work with it. And I was like,
Uh-huh.
and I was looking it through Steam and then I looked through like good old games, looking at some stuff, and I was like, wait a second. First of all, Steam has all of the humongous entertainment games, and every single one of them is only $7. I'm about to have a time, but because I need my pajama Sam fix sometimes, you know. Um,
Mhm.
but I was looking at Steam, and I was looking at good old games, and I was like, wait a second, I bought this thing like months ago. Let me see what's in there. And so I downloaded. I've played 2 games that were in that I will add to the list, and we will talk about next week so
Yeah,
that I don't go
add
over
to the
time.
list to talk about next week. So if we're going to talk about the game bundle next week, then I guess I should look over the game bundle again, and we can both talk about games because
Yeah,
I have played a couple games in that bundle, but I haven't really looked at it any further because there's a lot of stuff in there that I probably won't mess with. But
I'm adding Ukraine game bundle to the list.
and we'll both look at it in this coming week to to see what games we like.
Yeah. And maybe next Friday we will keep an eye out. We'll talk about it on the stream, but maybe next Friday we will do a Discord stream and play some games in there.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. All right. Time to
All right,
wrap it up.
time. Yeah, because I just got the text that my work is ready for me to do, and I am also feeling ever so slightly queasy, so I should probably have some more food. I'm guessing my body is trying to tell me that that yogurt and that piece of naan and that cup of fruit is just not
Was not
enough.
enough. That is not a
Es-
breakfast, but
Especially since it's 12:30 and I ate that around 8 o'clock
ridiculous. Well,
this
luckily
morning.
you have some Asian food over there. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe. I'm gonna say it again so that it flashes on the YouTube screen. Like, subscribe. Look at that rainbow light up. Look at it.
No, but nobody
Subscribe.
is watching us.
Somebody's gonna watch us.
Nobody is watching us.
Somebody's gonna watch us. And if you are watching us and you made it this far, leave an ice cream or a milkshake emoji for that long rant that I did about the Shamrock Shake.
Or you could leave a balloon.
Or a balloon. Oh yeah, leave some balloons and some cake emojis. Wish her happy birthday.
Oh, I didn't say all that. I just said leave a balloon.
I said the extra. Do it.
Hmm. We thank you for being here. Come join us next week. If you're joining us on demand, we really appreciate it. Let us know in the comments that you're here, that somebody has watched us.
We will see you
Have a
next
great week.
Wednesday at 10 a.m. I'll wake up on time this time. Won't even have a bonnet on. You'll be able to see my fro.
Don't scare the children.
It
Don't
looks
scare the
bad. It
children.
looks bad.
Don't scare the children. Bye.
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 Bye. I gotta get